What is up, guys? We are live for Brendan Allen and Paul Craig. I had to really say that slowly because I almost forgot who was fighting tonight because it's such a low hype card, low energy card, but whatever. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. This fight's terrible. Johnson versus Hagler. Terrible fight right now. Let's hope he gets the submission. But even if he does, we're going to have to wait another 20 minutes before the main card starts. So, yeah. What is going on? What is good? Lucas Maidbek Orobai is a special man. I don't know who that is, homie. Someone that fought tonight because I just ate. I was out earlier today. I actually did some golf, man. I actually not like playing golf, not like a game, but I went to a driving range, fucking smashed some balls. And now I'm chilling, man. So let's get it. Let's absolutely get it, man. Great fights. I heard that there was a horrible stoppage, an early stoppage with a submission. Ogden, right? Should I skip breakfast to help lose weight? Fasting is going to be good for weight loss in the short term, but I don't think it's beneficial to fast all the time if you want to have like long-term weight loss, meaning you want to be sustainably lean. Hey, Lucas, how many pygmies in an area is too many pygmies? I would say as soon as you start getting upwards of 50, it starts to get a little bit hectic. So that's my personal take on the matter. Someone that has much experience with that. Did you see Bedtime's promo for Bedtime versus Tracy? No, I did not. Why? Did he post that? Let me check. Let me see, my brother. I do not see, dude. I do not see. Bedtime MMA. He didn't post a promo. I don't see any promo, my guy. Is like Shavkapa more lethal? Interesting. He's like Shavkapa more lethal? Let me check, man. Let me check. Is this some guy on Bellator? You guys talking about Bellator? By the way, Amosov getting knocked out by one of Luke Rockhold's random training partners. Let's see. Let's see. Let's check this one out. Interesting. All right, guys. Where am I supposed to find this? Oh, YouTube. Let's check the UFC's page. Christian Leroy Duncan got the win. How the heck did he win? How did Christian Leroy Duncan win? TKO. Wow, he TKO'd Tallulah. That's actually a pretty good win, man. Dennis Tallulah, I mean, to be fair, he got smoked in his last fight, but that was on the ground. I'm actually surprised that Christian Leroy Duncan got it done. He's not that good, bro. Tallulah really having a rough run. Oh, Orobai versus Medic. Well, I don't think he's going to get it done, dude. I know this is the fill-in for Johnny Parsons. Well, I'm going to go with Medic. Let me make my quick picks just because I didn't get around to it, guys. Let me make my main card picks. I'm going with Urdos Medic. I'm going with Amanda Ribas. I'm going with Talbot. I'm going with Chase Hooper. Let me say that is my most confident prediction. I'm going with Michael Morales, and I'm going to go with Brendan Allen. Those are my picks. Brendan Allen, Michael Morales, Chase Hooper, Talbot, Ribas, Amanda Ribas, and Uros Medic is getting it done. I'm surprised that the MMA Guru went with, what's his name? What the hell is his name? Levitt? Jordan Levitt. He's really not that good on the feet, man. His last TKO was in the clinch, you know, like I think he's really underestimating how good Chase Hooper is on the ground. So I think Chase Hooper is going to nullify the grappling and he's going to outstrike Jordan Levitt. He's a layup fighter. Tallulah has a record of 10-9. That's actually pretty crazy. Still a whole lot better than Michael Johnson. But yeah. Christian Leroy Duncan looks like garbage against Petrosian. So I'm surprised that he was even able to pull off the win. I don't know how he got it done. Maybe you guys can fill me in, but You guys already know this card is pretty trash. So I was not in a rush to start my stream. I wanted to eat a big meal. I just had some sweet potato with skirt steak, some raw cheese, some carrots, and a whole lot of fruit. And I am now chowing down on some dry mango as well. You guys already know. We're eating real food over here, man. Are you bulking? You know what? I've been thinking about eating more food. And so in a way, yeah. In a way, yeah. Grass-fed mango. How do you know? How do you know? Real food. Organic. Only one ingredient. Mango. Grass-fed meaty hooks. You know what? There is something to be said about grass-fed meaty hooks because, and people may actually be surprised by this, but there's some research that a grass-fed meaty hook has a higher or just a denser nutritional profile when it comes to the minerals. So, for example, there are some minerals in a grass-fed meaty hook as opposed to a regular meaty hook. And therefore, there's like real research on it. There's like a serious, substantial amount of research on how not only do they have more minerals, but they also have a higher concentration of vitamin A, vitamin C, and even vitamin E. So make sure you're getting your grass-fed meaty hooks. You know who's the king of grass-fed meaty hooks? You know who's the king of big meaty hooks? Fucking, you know what? It's not even Emmett anymore. It's not even Emmett. It's Conor McGregor. Yeah! Tap him out. End the card. Get him out of there. We just needed that fight to be over with. Good win. Great win. And now we can finally get to the real stuff. I mean, this guy is a pipsqueak. What does he expect? You're fighting in a weight class that's too small for you, buddy. Gosh. You know what? There's nothing more that I like than seeing some pipsqueak getting his ass kicked. All right, when he's fighting in the totally wrong division. When he's fighting in a division that's way too big for him. What does this guy expect? You're a fucking, you look like a fucking bantamweight out there. Gosh. But you know who actually has the best meaty hooks? Conor McGregor. Dude, Conor McGregor's only exercise that I see him doing these days are big meaty hooks with his coach holding the round pad. You know those round pads? If anyone's ever done any training, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Or if you've seen the clips of Conor. Here, I'll show you. Let me just pull it up. Conor hitting pads. Hitting pads. Mac life. And here it is. The first two videos. This is Conor McGregor's go-to. See this big round pad? Boom, big meaty hooks. Let me show you. Yep, pretty much to be expected. Conor McGregor and his so this is the guy, this is the training of the elite Conor McGregor that you expect to go out there and take out Michael Chandler when Chandler's putting in the hard wrestling rounds. That's Conor McGregor's training right now. That's exactly what I was referring to when I was talking about how this is his training and this is why he's not going to be at an elite level ever again. He has a bunch of yes men saying, "Oh, there it is. There's a good shot. There's a good shot." That's the extent of Conor's training. He's doing gritty boxing drills. He's not, because that's not a gritty boxing drill. A gritty boxing drill is like, you know, Canelo blindfolded, moving the head out the way of the boulder coming in his way, right? Doing the footwork drills, the boring footwork drills, sparring with elite level guys, right? But Conor McGregor's not doing any of that. Is this the first fight? No, it's not the worst fight night of all time. It's not the worst fight night of all time. It's not even close. People say that every single time there's a shitty fight night. Dude, there have been so many crappy fight nights. There's no way this is the worst. Jordan Levitt and Chase Hooper is already enough to make it not the worst fight night of all time. Trust me. There have been fight nights that didn't even have fights that were anywhere near being that good. And that actually is a good fight because there's actually a lot of hype going into it. and it's meme hype, but it's still real hype. And I think Chase Hooper. Am I the only one that thinks Chase Hooper is going to destroy him? Am I the only one that thinks Chase Hooper is going to nullify him on the ground and just beat his ass on the feet with his buffed up chin at 155? I think Chase Hooper gets it done easily. I don't think Jordan Levitt is anything on the feet. People are picking Levitt just because he's more experienced and he's stronger, but like Chase Hooper's legit on the ground, man. He's very good on the ground. And he's got ridiculous cardio and a chin these days at 155. It lacks any decent names. Yeah, it does. But, you know, I'm excited to see Euros Medic. There's Big Jamal Hill in the crowd. I'm excited to see Euros Medic. Okay. I think he's a really good fighter. He's fun to watch. Amanda Rebus always, has fun fights. I'm being honest about that. This guy, Talbot, what's his name? Hunter Talbot or something? Apparently, he has some hype going into this. He took a ton of damage, but he's like a heavy damage style. Pretty entertaining fighter. Then there's Hooper and Levitt, which is a good fight. Morales versus Matthews is a good fight. Morales is a prospect that's a must watch at this point to see how his career is going to pan out. And then Brendan Allen, Paul Craig is a good fight. So I actually think that this is pretty decent. Wait a second. Whoa, they are running behind. They are really running late. Wait a second. Why are they doing a fight 10 minutes before 5? I've never seen the UFC do this. How did they get here? Why are they I didn't even know this was going down. But Brito's a beast, and I'm picking Brito to win this fight. Early pick. Brito's a monster, bro. So I'm going with Brito. But Pierce, you know what? Pierce is actually pretty good, though. Actually, I don't know. I take that back. I just remember Brito is coming off of like a really good KO win, and he fights. He's got a very aggressive style, but Jonathan Pierce actually has like a ton of wins in the UFC. That was supposed to be Bryce Mitchell's last opponent. So this is a tough fight. They're behind, though. How often do we see the UFC run late? These prelims have been dreadful. Oh, I'm not doubting that at all. And our boy Tallulah lost too. That kind of sucks. I'm a fan of Tallulah. He's got a good style. Lost to the freaking soy boy UK Duncan. Lucas, Jordan Levitt reviewed your cookbook on his book club. He called it derivative. Interesting. I'm going to have to see that. You know what? Oh my gosh. I just had a perfect idea for a cameo. I have a perfect idea for a cameo. I'm going to get Jordan Levitt to do a 1-minute review of my cookbook for the award ceremony this year. Fuck, my camera, guys. Sorry. Shit. I don't know, guys. I'm not liking this. We're gonna have to turn it in this direction a little bit. There we go. I don't think that's any better. Fuck. Damn it. Yep, we're gonna have to turn this. Gonna have to turn that a little bit. Ooh, nope. Oh, wait a second. Whoa. All right, there we go. I think it's better now. No, it's even worse. Fuck. Taking a selfie. Shit. Wait. Oh, nah, man. There we go. Now it's even worse. Damn it. Honestly, this is pissing me off. I can't get the perfect angle. Whoa, wait. Right in the middle. I need something in the middle. There we go. Now we got the good angle, but now everything looks lopsided. Fuck. Sorry, guys. Okay. Nah. Nope. I think actually, you know what? I think that's pretty good. Nah, that looks really lopsided. Shit. Nah, sorry guys. I need it to be perfect. Oh gosh. There's the black stuff on the wall, bro. It's not a professional look. Damn it. Honestly, this is really annoying. Shit, man. Stop getting so close, man. It's creeping me out. Nah, this is worse because oh fuck, this is horrible. Come on, just freaking do it right. Honestly, it's not even that bad. I think we're gonna be good here. Stop getting so close. Yeah. When's the setup with the camera up back and the black background happening? I bet a tripod could help. This is actually on a tripod, but we're never doing the black background. The one thing that we will do is we are going to push the camera back, and you guys are going to see like my elbows and my arms on top of a desk, so that it's more similar to like a TV show or a news show where you see the news anchors and the analysts and their arms doing the movements and whatnot, right? As opposed to just this. Oh, I have a fight clock. I can actually get it, but it's not the one that I wanted. The one that I wanted is actually coming in the mail. Seriously, I have a fight clock. I could put it right there. But you know what? I might even do it. Yeah, I don't know, man. Actually, I'd have to unplug some things. Every single outlet in this room is being used. I got this outlet being used, 2 different things plugged in, 2 different things plugged in there. I got 2 different things plugged in there for my router and whatnot. So do it. Yeah, but the issue is it's like, it's actually horrible, man. It's a horrible fight clock. Like there's something seriously wrong with it. For 5-minute countdowns, you can only see one big letter. I'm sorry, one big number or digit or numeral, whatever. And then you see 2 little zeros, as opposed to the 5 minutes being like spread across the screen. So it's not a good fight clock. I had to order a new one. Oh, Jonathan Brito's got him in a headlock, but Pierce is on the takedown. I got Colby beating Leon by an upset. I don't. And it wouldn't even be that big of an upset. I don't understand why people think it's like, oh, Colby winning would be some kind of an upset. Like, it wouldn't be like O'Malley beating Aljo, and it would not be similar to Sean Strickland beating Adesanya. I'm going to give Leon Edwards like a 65% chance to win. So it wouldn't be a huge upset. I think Leon's getting it done, though. Colby's a little old. He's been inactive. He's been picking up dust on the shelf. No one's ever kicked his legs, and every single time he's fought anyone good, he's had an extremely close fight. But the last time he's won, ooh, Brito gonna fucking toss him, and he takes down Jonathan Pierce. The last time he fought anyone good that he beat was RDA, and that was a 35-year-old RDA that was not a massive welterweight that also has the ability to strike and whatnot. I think that Leon Edwards is on the RDA level of grappling, if not better, because he outgrappled RDA. So I think Leon's going to beat Colby, and I'm pretty confident in that. I was not confident in Yuri, right? I was not confident in Tom Aspinall, but I actually do think that Leon wins. If Colby can get the ball rolling early, that's how he wins, right? If he can just get it on Leon, put it on Leon early, he won't slow down, and Leon will. So it really depends on who wins the first couple of rounds. If Leon can win the first couple of rounds, he probably wins the fight. Of course, Leon could lose the first round and win the second and knock Colby out, but Leon's going to have to shut him down early and get momentum. Say Crafty Vets. Tell us if you're hostage. I'm not hostage, bro. Yeah, the Crafty Vets video is coming, guys. I started working on it. The script is almost finished, and I will start filming it tomorrow or today or tonight. I may start filming it tonight. Maybe I won't do a recap for the fight night. I might, but there's not a whole lot to talk about unless we have some pretty interesting fights on the main card. Oh, he rocked him. Jonathan Pierce getting rocked by Brito. Brito is imposing his will. Good body shots by Brito. I like Brito's style, man. This is called imposing your will. He's walking this guy down. He's not giving him space. There's a shot from Pierce. Brito shucks him off. He's looking like a strong featherweight out there. Jonathan Pierce was a guy that people were picking to give Bryce Mitchell some issues, which I think is a little bit silly, to be honest. Good knees to the thigh from Jonathan Pierce. Trying to steal back the momentum. Lucas, you said bacon is not unhealthy, which is an absolute delusional. It's an absolute delusion. It depends on the quality of bacon, my man. It has nothing to do with the fat. It just depends on the quality of bacon. So, yeah. Do you think we'll see a finish in Colby versus Leon? I don't. I think it's going to be a decision for Leon or a decision for Colby. Colby is not finishing Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards could get a TKO, but I don't see that happening. And yeah, Colby's not submitting anyone. Bacon is haram. Lucas, how do you deal with the gym anxiety and lack of motivation? With gym anxiety, I don't really get gym anxiety, to be honest. Is pure honey good for you? Yes, raw honey is good for you, man. Anything that's just natural and from the earth, that's a popular food or that's a traditional food is good for you. And I'm not saying anything that's natural and from the earth is good for you. There are poisonous mushrooms that you shouldn't eat, right? There are plenty of things that you shouldn't eat that's from the earth, but for the most part, if people have been eating it for many, many years and it's natural and it's unprocessed, it's probably good for you. Dream car. I don't really have a dream car. I'm not a big car person. I am really not a big car person. If it can get me from point A to point B, I'm good with that. But if I had all the money and let's say I won the lottery, bro, and I would just said, all right, fuck it, let me get a sick car. I would get, honestly, dude, I'd get an Aston Martin. I'd get a car that not many people have. Like, of course, not many people have a Lambo, a Ferrari, but I think that an Aston Martin is even more rare. Like, who the hell has an Aston Martin, bro? That's a sick car, right? Even a Maserati is pretty cool. So I'd say something like rare or slept on. I don't need anything super flashy like a Lamborghini. But at the end of the day, dude, soy car. That's a soy car. At the end of the day, I'm probably never gonna get something that nice because I just don't care. Thoughts on Bobby Green versus Paul Felder? Bobby Green versus Paul Felder. I mean, you're saying you want to see that happen? You want to see it go down? Listen, I'm going to be honest about it. I could give less of a fuck about seeing Paul Felder in the cage versus anyone other than an old man. And I don't even care if he comes back. So shout out to Paul Felder. He actually was really entertaining when he was around in the UFC, but he's just not going to be his best version. He's not going to hit as hard as he used to, because Paul Felder for the last couple of years has just been a triathlete. So he's been doing a lot of cardio. It's probably killed his strength a little bit in his test. So I would say Paul Felder on UFC 300 sounds okay. Isn't he booked for someone? I don't think he is booked for anyone. I don't think he's booked for anyone. No, Paul Felder doesn't beat Bobby Green after being inactive for many years. I don't think that Paul Felder can just come in here and take out a top 10 guy like that. I think Paul Felder would definitely be, because he's not super old, right? I think his last fight was what, RDA? He's not that old. It's just that he's not going to be better. He's not been training hard for the past couple of years. Can't just come back into the game like that and mop the floor with elite guys. So, yeah, Felder versus Miller would be competitive because Felder's younger than Jim. Jim's been more active. Jim's won 4 out of his last 5. Super crafty. But Paul Felder's a crafty vet too. I'd like to see that fight, but I honestly think it's a little bit too much for Miller. Like, Miller's good, but Miller's good against people that are super green in the sport or like very old and on their way out. You know what? Maybe that could be competitive. I think Miller, people underestimate him because it's Jim Miller, but you get hit by him a couple of times. They're on Crip Street these days. So, yeah. Felder versus Tony Ferg. I think it's basically a win for Felder. I don't think Tony Ferguson has it. Once Tony has fallen off completely. Felder never fell off that hard, man. Like, that's why it's good that he left the game when he left the game. I'd go with Felder to beat him. Felder was always extremely durable, always had great cardio. And the fact that he's, not been taking a lot of damage the past couple of years and wasn't even that old when he left, yeah, you'd beat Tony. Opinions on Ferguson training with Goggins? Yeah, it's probably going to only make his fight with Patty harder. He's overtrained with Goggins for a whole week. He's increased his risk of injury tenfold. He has completely shot his test, right? By going that hard and overtraining that much. And now he's still in training camp, and David Goggins has infiltrated his mind. And, Goggins probably gave Tony a pep speech or a pep talk before he left the whatever they were doing, before he left his stay, and said, hey, you're going to go back home and do the exact same training, Tony. So Tony's probably overtraining as we speak. And I just think that recovery is extremely important if you're going for the optimal performance and you actually want to have some strength and some power and some fast twitch ability. Tony's quick twitch muscles are going to be just totally burnt out. And I think he's going to be weaker than he was last time, man. I don't think Tony's issue was the mentality, man. I don't think his mental game was his issue. Yes, Tony could have more motivation. He could have more ambition now. But at a certain point, like, that's not what's going to determine who wins a fight. It's not going to determine who wins a fight, especially when you no longer have the speed or strength that you used to. And now you're weakening yourself even further, right? So, and you're not as durable either. Tony, it doesn't have the same durability. I don't know, man. I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think it's going to matter. And I think it'll only hurt him. That's just my opinion. Yeah, dude, he put about 10 years on Tony's life. He took 10 years off. I mean, like, listen, man, training with David Goggins is awesome. It's like a hell of an experience. It's one of those things to where, yeah, it's not super healthy, but who cares? Who cares, man? Sometimes you should just go out there and train balls to the wall. Just to fucking turn it up. Yeah! Get him out of there! Get him out of there! Let's get it. He's taking his pants off. What the hell is he doing? You're not Derek Lewis, son. You're not Derek Lewis. What the fuck? He just fucking stripped his pants off instantly. That's hilarious. He thinks he's Derek Lewis? Yeah. But I'm just happy because now we're heading to the main card. Jonathan Pierce. Can you imagine? By the way, I know that Brito is like, or Jonathan Pierce isn't that great because people were talking about how he was going to give Bryce Mitchell a tough test, which is such a joke. Unbelievably laughable. MMA fans always trying to sound too hardcore for their own good. Pat Sabatini, man. I think he could give Diego Lopez some issues. Fuck out of here, man. Same thing with Pierce. But Pierce does have a good record in the UFC. And to see Brito go out there and sub him like that is actually impressive because Brito doesn't have a name at all. And Brito's coming off of a good KO as well. So this guy's an issue. Brito's an issue. He knows how to impose his will. He hits hard. He's strong as fuck. He has good takedown defense. And now we know he can submit people too. So Brito's actually legit. He's real. Tony's corner has always let him down. Tony's corner. Yeah, I know. I remember they weren't giving him the best corner advice in the Gagey fight, but give me some other instances. I don't know what you mean by always let him down. By the way, I think they should have thrown in the towel, but you'd already know Tony would have fired every last one of them. So sometimes they're afraid if they throw in the towel for certain occasions, they'll get fired. Good win for Brito. Yair versus O'Malley. I'm going with Yair. I don't think that's a very tricky fight for me to pick. I'd definitely go with Yair on that one. I think he would just overwhelm O'Malley. He's a much better kicker. And I think he makes that fight a little dirty, a little scrappy, because Yair really goes out there at every second trying to hurt you. And O'Malley's much more patient. He's much more of a sniper. He can throw at high output, but it's not going to be a comfortable fight with a guy that's just as long as him, but bigger than him too, that kicks a whole lot harder and faster. I just think that's a nightmare matchup. So I go with Yair. O'Malley could tag him, but it's like Yair doesn't really allow you to set things up that much, right? Unless you're Volk level. But O'Malley ain't Volk level. O'Malley's the most underrated champion in the UFC. I think Strickland is. I disagree with that. I don't think O'Malley's that underrated. I think a lot of people would pick O'Malley to beat Sandhagen. A lot of people would pick O'Malley to beat Merab, and a lot of people would pick O'Malley to beat Cheeto. So I don't think he's that underrated. I don't think he's that underrated, bro. Uros Medic is good. He is good. Yeah, he's coming off of a win over Semmelsberger. I picked Semmelsberger to beat him because Uros Medic doesn't have the best chin, but he got dropped and still came back to win. But that was in Salt Lake City, bro. And I just hate when the UFC goes to Salt Lake City because everyone looks terrible on those cards. Just they gas out. Let me look at Brito's record. I'm making sure that I'm right on this. He doesn't have many fights in the UFC, I don't think. Wow. Okay, never mind. He has 5 fights in the UFC. He lost to Bill Aljo, knocked out Andre Fili, um, submitted Lucas Alexander, knocked out Weston Wilson, and now submitted Jonathan Pierce. So it's KO sub, KO sub. Wow. 4-fight win streak for Jonathan Brito. This guy, I think he's going to get close to a ranked opponent. You know, I want Diego Lopez to get a bump up, but, you know, that would be a fun fight. Brito versus Lopez down the line. I'd love to see that. Brito Lopez. That'd be a good fight. You see Umar eventually becoming a double champ? No. I think that the hardest division to become a double champion is probably featherweight or lightweight. Lightweight's real hard to become a double champion. So, no. I don't see any bantamweight moving up and becoming a double champ unless they have a perfectly tailored matchup against a very weak champion, right? Like O'Malley, if let's say Bryce Mitchell somehow flukes a submission win over Ilya Taporia down the line, maybe that's like a good fight for O'Malley, but still. There's rarely ever a weak champion that can fluke his way to the top of the lightweight division or the featherweight division. Every single featherweight champ has been a legit monster, legend. Max, Volk, Connor was pretty good in his prime, but never really proved himself as a champ. He's actually the weakest featherweight champ ever. But you guys get my point. The video when he did the O'Malley voice, yeah, my hand, dude. Fucking hell. O'Malley's always talking about how his hand is still sore from punching Aljo in the face, or man, my hand is so sore from punching Chris Moutinho in the face. Like he was talking about that 6 months after the Chris Moutinho fight. I'm telling you, O'Malley does have brittle bones. That's his weakness. You get in the clinch, dude. All I'm gonna say is, you know, I'd rather be Alistair Overeem getting chinned by Francis Ngannou than O'Malley catching a Usman cobblestone knee to the ribs in the clinch. I think that might be the most painful thing that would ever occur. I think Usman needs to turn into an absolute clinch monster, right? Wouldn't Usman become unstoppable? Usman needs to turn into a clinch monster again, man. He needs to start getting back to the toe stomps and crafting it up like Magny. Because Magny, bro, if Magny is good enough to be ranked with the clinch style, Usman could maybe be a champ, right? If Magny is beating ranked guys with that boring ass style, Usman could beat the best. It's possible, man. But Usman, you know, he looks good. He looks skilled when he goes out there and chucks the jab and whatnot. But I think he should resort to that shit if he really wants to become a champ again. Lucas, let's be real. It's written in the stars that Umar will become champ. Yeah, I think it is. With these Nurmagomedovs, Usman's going to be a champ. Dude, if you really think about it, Allah, I mean, there's something there, right? There's something there. I mean, which one of these guys has failed to become a champ? I know Abu Bakr and Zubaida, but they're not really a part of the core four, right? When we're talking about the core four, Abu Bakr's not a part of it. He's on the team, but he's never ever been a guy where people have been like, whoa. I'm talking about any of these Dagestanis from Team Habib that have been undefeated at one time or like had a ridiculous record at one time. They've never gotten fraud checked before getting to the belt. I know Makhachev got KO'd, but you know, it seemed like it was his destiny. He became a champ. Umar, he's going to become a champ. And Usman probably going to become a champ in the future too when he comes to the UFC. But you know what? I actually think that a Bellator base, when these guys beat up on these shitty Bellator fighters, like they kind of fight down to the level sometimes. And I think it actually might hurt Usman Nurmagomedov to be fighting guys like Brent Primus early on. I mean, think about who Makhachev was fighting early on, right? Makhachev was actually fighting really good guys. Davy Ramos, he was fighting Arman Sarukian, like actually good fighters on the come up. Usman's fighting these, you know, old UFC retiree rejects. Magny is a once in a lifetime fighter, though. It's different. Yeah, it's true. Magny has the perfect build for a nice clinch fest. Magny, I cannot believe that guy is allowed to keep his UFC contract with the style that he has. It actually impresses me. It really impresses me. Why? Like, if I was Dana White, if I was the UFC, I wouldn't want someone in my company, in my promotion that fights that boring. I think it'd be a liability, but whatever. I guess they use them to weed out the frauds because why else would they keep him in the game? Magny's boring as hell. Even if he gets destroyed, I've never seen an entertaining Magny finish. Even the Neil Magny and Ian Gary fight sucked. That sucked too. Well, oh, Ian Gary leg kicked him and like pitter patted him at range for a little bit. That wasn't entertaining at all. Ian Gary managed to have the most boring 30-24 in UFC history. Because the whole time I was just thinking, come on, put it on him. Ian Gary's keeping his sweet, sweet distance. He's taking his sweet time. And then Burns subbed him. That wasn't entertaining. Burns just took him down and freaking smudged him into a little arm triangle. How's that entertaining? That's not like a crafty submission. I mean, it is in a way, but actually it is a crafty submission. It's not a slick submission like Paul Craig or Oliveira. The crafty submissions are the ones that are kind of like, by the book, kind of regular, boring. There's no flash when it comes to being crafty. I guess Neil Magny in a way is a crafty vet. I'll include him in my video because he actually is a vet too, real vet. Thoughts on Borshev versus Patty? Borshev. I picked Borshev to beat him because Borshev's striking is so much better than Patty Pimblett's that I think he'd be able to strike without any fear of anything coming back in his direction. And I think that would just allow him to, get ready for the takedown. I think Patty's striking is not dangerous enough to make Borshev overthink on the feet. I think Borshev would beat him. But you never know. We'll see how Patty does in his next fight. I don't think Patty's as bad as other people think, right? Like, he's not the worst fighter in the UFC. I think Patty would beat. I think Patty could take out at least 15 lightweights, but the lightweight roster is pretty deep. He loses to, Uros Medic is not at lightweight anymore, but he loses to Jared Gordon. We already saw that. Jared Gordon's not even that great. He's okay, but he's not even that great. If you beat Neil Magny, you're a top 10 welterweight. Yeah, he is the perfect gatekeeper. He really is the perfect gatekeeper. And you cannot deny that, in order to beat Neil Magny, that means you have to have a great fight IQ. It means that you have to be at least somewhat competent in the clinch range, right? Because listen, you could be as flashy as you want on the feet, as flashy as you want on the ground. If you can't figure your way around, if you can't figure out a clinch, okay, something as basic as the clinch in MMA, which is a huge component of mixed martial arts, then you don't deserve to be top 10 and you'll never be a champion. Isn't that interesting, right? How the clinch is a very crucial part of MMA. The boring clinch. Fuck, I hate clinch fighting, man. I think that's even worse than wet blanketing. There's nothing worse than clinch fighting because just by virtue of it being on the feet, you have to contrast it with striking, right? Whereas striking is the most entertaining it'll ever get. There's nothing that's more entertaining than a war on the feet. Whereas if you're on the ground and guys have these cool, fancy scrambles, it's entertaining, but it's not going to make you lose your mind necessarily, like a good old-fashioned scrap on the feet would. And yeah, that's why when it's a wet blanket, it's not that far off. The contrast isn't as crazy as the contrast between a boring-ass clinch fest and a fucking epic war. Can't stand a clinch fest. There's not enough dirty boxing in MMA. Yeah, that's true. Gordon versus Madsen was a breath of fresh air. I like that too. Yeah, that's another thing that pisses me off when I'm watching guys clinch. I really feel like they're just biding time. I think a lot of guys come to this unwritten agreement that they're just going to sit there and catch their breath. Am I the only one that feels like these guys really just chill out in the clinch and they get lazy? The clinch is the grind. It is for some fighters. It is a tool that some guys will use to break their opponents and to slow them down. I totally get that. But sometimes these guys literally aren't doing jack shit. They're not trying to advance the position. They're not landing any strikes. I'll call it out if I see it on this card. I'll call it out. Having a nap in the cage. Yeah, these guys take naps in the clinch, bro. But yeah, I think that's gonna be something that we see a whole lot more of in the future, where people just get more dangerous in that area. If I was an MMA fighter, you can bet that I'd be working on vicious elbows, right? Vicious knees, nasty uppercuts. I mean, listen, I don't mean to glaze, but Marty Lewis would have been the king of the clinch in MMA. Marty Lewis would have been the king of the clinch because he had one of the craziest uppercuts in the game. It was the uppercut that was his downfall, of course. That was his weakness. The uppercut was his weakness, but it was that uppercut that was one of his best weapons too. It's like, he was the live by the sword, die by the sword kind of guy. God give it and God take it away, right? It was one of those things for Marty. Marty had one of the best fucking uppercuts down the pipe, right down the fucking pipe, and nobody could get out of the way of that thing. But then again, he couldn't either. That was Muhammad Ali's. That was Muhammad Ali's comeback, behind the scenes, of course. No one ever saw Muhammad Ali address Marty Lewis in public after 1966. But I remember the news around the town in 1971 was, think that guy gives me a tough fight? I'll send an uppercut down the pipe, right? That was Muhammad Ali's go-to line. You know how Muhammad Ali always rhymed? I made fun of like the old head trash talk, but that was it. That was it. I'll give him an uppercut down the pipe. And that was the thing that made people lose their mind. And I just remember like thinking, damn, Marty's going to have to come back with a good one. Marty's going to have to come back with a good one. And of course, 1972 was the year of shame for Muhammad Ali. Real boxing fans know. Marty Lewis went to his open workout one time with the microphone, and the police had to escort him out, and people were booing, and Muhammad Ali basically had to run out of the arena in his in one of his Joe Frazier fights because people were saying, "Hey man, like you're ducking Marty. Where's Marty? Where's the Marty fight?" He friggin' ran out with the coat over his head. People were throwing drinks at him, right? Marty had an underrated, underrated, probably the best ever. Underrated. I mean, listen, man. Marty Lewis's mind games were top notch for the 60s, 70s, of course. I mean, the trash talk back then was a little bit different. It wasn't as interesting, but it was pretty damn good. Here we go. Urdos Medic versus Shavkat Part 2. Bro speaking Japanese. Do you know Kamaru translates to the moon of religion in Arabic? I have no idea what you're saying, my guy. Urdos Medic, guys. He's pretty good, but he's not great. We'll see. Let's see if Shavkat Part 2 can give him some issues. The fight clock is here. I can literally bring it in. I can actually bring the fight clock in. It's just a horrible fight clock, and I'll tell you why. Let's get it. It's because if I do 5 minutes on it, you only see it at the very edge of the screen in small numbers. That's why I ordered a new one. Oh, that hook came awfully close to that chinny chin chin of Urdos Medic. Urdos doesn't have a great chin, guys. He doesn't have a great chin, but he has moved up a weight class, which is good for him. Coming off of that KO win over Matthew Semmelsberger, Orobai, first fight in the UFC. Yeah. Good body kick from Urdos. Orobai stalking him down, holding the center of the cage, pushing Medic back. Let's see if he tries to shoot a takedown. There's a head kick for Medic that lands on the arms of Orobai. Medic looks like he's trying to time him coming in. Oh, he cracked him with a stiff jab. Oh, he need him in the chin. He need him to the body, and he caught him with the elbow. Orobai is eating big shots. Another crispy hook. A couple of crispy hooks from Urdos Medic. Those aren't meaty hooks. Those are crispy ones. Illegal knee? That was not illegal. I don't think that was illegal. It was to the body. It wasn't to the chin. Orobai gets him down. Wow. Toughness from Orobai. He got cracked a bunch of times there. Good clinch work from Medic, though. What'd I say? Easy money? Bro, this guy, Odobai, is not beating Medic. I'm sorry. Medic beats him. I'm telling you right now, Medic beats him. Oh, another takedown for Odobai. There's no way Odobai is getting this one done over a crafty vet. Medic is not a crafty vet, though. Thompson beats Shavkat. I think Thompson gives him a tougher fight than other people think, honestly. I've changed my mind on that, but I'm still going with Shavkat. In his prime. Granite chin. This guy's going for another takedown. Holy shit. This guy better have a great gas tank, Odobai, because otherwise he's going to gas himself out. He's going to tie up the legs. He ties up the legs. Wow. Wow. Is Odobai actually good? I mean, we'll see. Oh, the moon of religion. Interesting. I did not know. That's what you meant. His name translates to that. He ate those shots. What a G. Yeah, those are some good shots. Fuck, this guy's boring as hell, though. Whatever, man. It's just the beginning of the fight. But Odobai looking like he is going in there to stink things up. I respect it. I respect the grind. He's sticking to Medic. He's imposing his will. He's 11-1-1. Okay. Pretty good record. But you never really know how good these guys are until they get to the UFC. Wow. Medic, what's up with his eye? He's not dominating Matt that much. Dominic Cruz said he's really dominating so far. Yo, Medic is winning the round. Medic is winning the round. This is a Medic round. You guys agree? This is a Medic round right now. Just the idea of them giving this round to Odobai for doing literally nothing after Medic landed 11 or 12 really solid shots in the clinch. To be fair, Medic has a little he's got his eye busted up. I don't know how that happened, but this is a Medic round right now. Odobai's done nothing. Oh, there's an up kick that lands. That's another strike for Medic. Medic is winning this round. Wow. Odobai's neck breathing is really going to do a whole lot of damage here, guys. Fuck. So boring. I mean, it's good grappling. It's good grappling, but still. Fuck, man. This dude is one of the most boring fighters. Medic is the future #1 pound for pound king. He is. Okay, there's a good shot. There's a good shot. Oh, they're probably going to give this round to Odobai, unfortunately. Let's hope he can actually land something to at least deserve the round, though. Wow, main card really starting off great, huh? Wow, Medic just doesn't know how to grapple at all. How long has he been training in MMA? Can't deal with the grappling whatsoever. I don't know, guys. Like, it also shocked me how someone that's never had a fight in the UFC can dominate this hard in the grapple. I mean, not really, right? This guy could be a beast for all I know. I haven't ever seen him fight before. He could have a high level of wrestling. My main event pick is going to be Brendan Allen. Yeah, this fight's pretty whack right now. This fight sucks right now. Who you got for the main event? The main event, I'm going with Brendan Allen. I wish the UFC had kickboxing and Muay Thai. Like, I don't. I really don't need to see that. I'm happy that they don't, because that would water down the UFC's divisions, right? People like, Yair Rodriguez, for example, or a guy like Volk, they might get tempted to, let me try out my hand at becoming a champion in kickboxing. And then the divisions get weaker because you lose talents like Yair and Volk. If guys want to kickbox, if guys want to do Muay Thai, go to 1FC. I'm happy to watch them in 1FC. I like watching high-level Muay Thai in 1FC, so I do not want to see the UFC bring that stuff in. Under kickboxing only, I just think it would water things down. It would make the divisions less interesting. It would make them less active and competitive. I don't want to see that. I like when guys commit to one sport, right? And I understand that we'd still get to see them have interesting matchups, but I want to see them have interesting matchups in MMA. I want to figure out who the best fighter is. Like Ngannou. There's a reason why I don't want to see Ngannou do boxing and MMA. And if it would be one thing if he could do boxing in the UFC, but it's like, I don't know, man. Then MMA fighters would just transition into the UFC boxing more easily, and I just wouldn't love to see that. Robai is the facial reconstruction of a Siberian caveman skeleton. Yeah, he is. He really is, bro. Fuck. This sucks. Man, Medic is getting completely schooled out there. Damn it. Wow, so this is our introduction to Uralbai, another boring guy, wet blanket that we're going to have to deal with for the next 10 years as UFC fans. Hello, Uralbai. We're looking forward to you putting us to sleep for the next 10 years, buddy. Damn it. Let's hope that he gets fraud checked, or maybe we could hope that this guy actually learns how to strike a little bit, because Medic was piecing him up on the feet. But goddamn, you want to make a good impression? You want to make a good impression? Don't wet blanket in your first UFC fight. Honestly, this is not that far off from what Colby does. Colby is a little bit more entertaining than this, to be fair, but this is why I'll never pick Colby to sub or finish anyone at the elite level. Because this is the difference between what it would look like for Colby to fight Masvidal versus what it would look like for Colby to beat someone like Edwards. This would be a Colby versus Edwards win, right? Edwards would not allow him to have the opportunity to really tee off because Edwards is too good for that, but Colby could do this. This is what people mean when they say Colby absolutely melts people, man. Except there would be no submission like there is right here, a submission attempt. Medic fighting this guy off. I don't know. You guys think Medic is going to give up and just say, fuck it? You think Medic is going to quit? Because a lot of people might quit in this position. He's getting up to his feet. Oh, come on. I'm rooting for Medic big time now. Urbai might be a Marab clone. We'll see. We'll see if he can keep this up for the next 7 minutes. Let's see if he gets another takedown. Dude, Medic, why don't you just stand up? Just stand up. Damn it. Come on, Medic, just punch this guy in the face, man. I'm sure there are a lot of UFC fighters. Medic's uncle is probably watching this saying that right now. Just punch him in the face, buddy. That's some shit that Bisping would say. Punch him in the face, buddy. Punch him in the face. I really don't see how Covington beats Edwards. I mean, this is how Covington could just take him down and tire him out. Look at how tired Medic is. Covington can threaten with one arm rear naked chokes and neck cranks. That's how he beats him. All he has to do is just get the ball rolling early. If Covington gets Edwards down a few times early, he beats Edwards like this. Just without a finish, of course. Without a finish, because Edwards is not going to quit. And Covington doesn't finish people. I respect the heart from Uros. Oh, he tapped. Fuck. I spoke too soon. Damn it, man. That sucks, man. Oh. Hey, at least he trains with Uriah Faber. At least I can relate to him a little bit now. He trains with Uriah and Slava Claus. I'm good. But still, that fight sucked. Thank you for the $2. Yeah, it is a cool hat. I wonder, he's got a nice traditional hat on. I forget where this guy's from. I mean, Medic just got schooled. Respect to Uralbai, at least he finished the fight. At least he didn't give us 3 rounds of that crap. That's a way to redeem yourself. Just finish it. Make it stop. He made it stop. You know what? Good for Uralbai. Thank you for the $2. Pat Matthews. Did you see Deontay Wilder wants to do MMA? I doubt Deontay Wilder's ever going to do MMA. It's just one of those things where he'll get on an interview and say, yeah, man, I'd love to put on the 4-ounce gloves, man. And he'll never do it. I don't see it. Wilder's not going to go to MMA for pennies, dude. Think he's going to go to MMA for a nice $600,000 paycheck from the PFL or a $2 million paycheck? Probably not. He's saying he would like to. Doesn't mean he would. He doesn't want to get embarrassed either, so. Michael Morales is going to save this card. I don't even think we need that. I think Levitt and Hooper is going to be a fun fight. You know what? This is freaking real food, man. Like, I love how people try to act like they're all tough and stuff. They're not even eating dried mango. Real killers eat mango, bro. Straight up. Dried fruit. Levitt versus Hooper, battle of the soy boys. You know what? I don't think Chase Hooper is that much of a soy boy. Like, yes, I understand that he's built like a soy boy and he has to like lift hard for years and actually bust his ass in the gym to get to a semi-average build. But I think Levitt's more of a soy boy, bro. But Levitt actually reads, dude. Levitt reads books. Like he reads like 2 books a week. And he has a whole book review thing. And I'm going to get him to review my cookbook. I'll actually pay him to review my cookbook on a Cameo. I mean, that's pretty epic, though. How many people actually read like 2 books a week? That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, he's flamboyant. He's flamboyant. I totally understand. But I have actually thought about it. And you know how like sometimes these UFC fighters, you're just used to seeing them on TV and they'd probably be like scarier in person. I thought about it and like Jordan Levitt would be terrifying. Jordan Levitt would be horrifying in person, really. You know how big Jordan Levitt is in person, dude? He's like freaking 250 pounds, man. Are you kidding me? You know how terrifying that guy would be? You look at his eyes. It's like shark eyes, too. He's like these great white shark eyes, which is crazy, dude. Jordan Levitt would fucking make most of you guys shit bricks. Seriously. He's probably scarier than Francis Ngannou. I'm playing around. Totally playing, guys. Yeah, Jordan Levitt he's probably one of the least intimidating fighters ever. I thought it was hilarious what he did at the weigh-ins. He did the fake lat spread, the fake lats. Black eyes, like doll's eyes until they roll over white. Yeah, Jordan Levitt's a fucking freak of nature, man. But Chase Hooper is not nearly as... I mean, I guess it's just because... to be honest, he has a soy boy voice, though. He's got a little bit of a soy boy voice. But I respect Chase Hooper after the performances that he's given us. Like, Chase Hooper's tough. He had a great performance last time. And, you know, he's nowhere near as fucking fruity as Levitt. Man. You just can't disrespect Marty Lewis like that, man. Marty Lewis was not a jab merchant. And you know it. Marty Lewis had one of the best arsenals. He had one of the best tool bags in the game. They call them. They used to talk about how Marty was bringing his tool bag to the. Whoa! What happened? Paul Felder was backing down from Urulbai. Did you guys see Urulbai just fucking threw a strike at him? Nah, but Marty Lewis actually had a really good arsenal. He had he had a deep tool bag. Oh, TKZ. What's he doing? What's TKZ doing in the US? Why is he in Vegas? Do you avoid soy in your diet? Of course. I never have soy unless I'm eating some kind of a dessert at a restaurant or whatever. Hardly ever. I had a piece of pie Couple pieces of pie this week that may have had soy, but for the most part, I avoid them. I'm eating a double, triple cheeseburger with extra large fries and 1 gallon of soda. That's insane, man. Sounds pretty terrible. Sounds like it's tasty, but something that's tasty is not the end all be all. I had skirt steak with raw cheddar cheese, a sweet potato, a white sweet potato, carrots, and fruit for my late lunch, which was an excellent meal. And honestly, I'm craving some milk. Honestly, I might want to get a nice glass of milk. I've been drinking a lot of milk recently, guys. Marty the Can Crusher, that just proves that you were never in the gym. That just proves that you never saw the guys that he would spar. Marty Lewis, I totally understand that he wasn't fighting the who's who at all times. That's because they ducked him. Marty Lewis is the most ducked boxer that ever walked the face of the earth. White sweet potato, yeah. White sweet potato. Whole milk, of course. Whole milk. Thoughts on Nina Perez's twerk celebration for her kid's birthday? There's no way. There's no way. I don't believe that. Let me check. Alina. I don't know how to find it, but I mean that's crazy. I don't think that's good. Not a good look. Came here for Lucas to glaze. Shut up, bro. That's just so disrespectful. Like, I don't know. You know why that's disrespectful. That's no different than joking around about someone like, the late great. I mean, I'm not even going to name it, but like Rumble or whatever. Because you know very well that they tried to erase him from history. That's what you don't understand. So when people joke around about Marty Lewis being some fictional character, it's just like, okay, like at that point, that's just the epitome of disrespectful. Think about his family. Think about his wife. That's just stop, please. Man. Yeah. What's the best KO ever? The best KO ever. I would say the best KO ever. Honestly, like Leon Edwards knocking out Usman was pretty wild. I'm assuming you're talking MMA, right? Not boxing. Because boxing, I mean, I've got a ton, but Han Sam won Marty. No. You've never seen the fights. You probably have no idea what the hell you're talking about, my man. Lucas Makhachev is low-key elite at mental warfare, knows exactly what makes his opponents mad. Yeah. Knows that calling Charles a quitter makes him mad. I wonder what he would say about Gaethje. Probably call him a sloppy man on the feet. Right? Or say he has no jiu-jitsu. Gaethje's never gotten pissed at that because no one's ever trash-talked him for that. But you know what? I'm surprised people don't trash-talk a little bit more about his jiu-jitsu, right? His jiu-jitsu is that bad. Conor KOs Ngannou in round 1. I think Conor's knockout over Aldo is pretty damn impressive. It is pretty impressive, but it's not the best because whenever you need follow-up shots, it just cannot be the best knockout ever. The best KO ever has to be a one shot. That's it. One shot. And that's why I kind of have Leon's knockout ahead of his. It doesn't mean that the Leon's KO is a more surreal moment, but I just think like the aesthetic of a knockout is best when it's just a walk-off, one shot. Like the knee to the chin of Ben Askren. Ben Askren. I would not let her put me in a triangle. Makhachev will become the GOAT by the end of 2025. Agree or disagree? I don't know. Is he going to stay active? How many fights will he have next year? Makhachev seems like he's going to fight once a year for the next 3 years, man. Like, I'm not getting the vibe of Makhachev returning for UFC 300. I hope he does, but Ramadan's right after that, and you already know these guys need like 4 months to recover from Ramadan. So, I mean, what are we going to wait? 8 months? 9 months? He's going to fight next October? I don't think so. I just don't think he'll do enough by then. And it's going to take a lot to become the GOAT. just because Jones has done so much, bro. So Jones. I really hate the fact that we have to wait for Jones and Stipe. No one wants to see that fight. No one takes it seriously as like the champion. No one thinks it's a championship fight, but whatever. And Jones will never fight Aspinall. So, I was the judge who chose Sam. The judge that chose Sam probably died many years ago. They're clapping. What is up with Amanda Ribas looking angry all of a sudden? Is the brain damage too much these days? Is she cutting weight? I don't know. That's just cringy, to be honest. Why is she angry all of a sudden? I don't like that. I don't like that. Is this the real? Oh, now she's serious. See, that's the thing about people that smile all the time. There's no way they're that happy at all times. They're forcing it. If you're just a naturally smiley person, why do you have to fucking change it up and get angry all of a sudden? What the hell's going on here? This looks goofy. What the hell is going on here? Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, man. This is probably the damage. There's no way Wonderboy Thompson is always smiling. He's faking it. He's frauding it up. He's probably, you know what? Thompson's probably a really chill guy. He's probably a nice guy, but there's no way he's just Mr. Smiley Pants at all times. Because on his show with Ariel, after he went through that little issue with Michel Pereira when he pulled out of the fight with Pereira, Wonderboy didn't look like Mr. Smiley Pants to me. Do you think Wonderboy got a skeleton? Probably a real one too. Are you okay? Are you kidding me? Marty punched my granddad. I'm sorry, man. Your granddad must have been a real dick. Because trust me, Marty Lewis, if someone was an asshole, he would let him know. He would let him feel it. So totally understand that. Thoughts on Marty Lewis throwing that title fight in 76? I hear the mob got to him. Yeah. Well, we don't talk about that one. We don't talk about that one. But yeah, again, I've got ties to Marty Lewis's family, so it's like I got to zip up on that one. But yeah, one of his only losses, right? Makes you think. I mean, hey, it is what it is. He was by 76, Muhammad Ali had already tried to damage him and erase him from history, and things were tough. Things were tough with Marty Lewis. So if you put 2 and 2 together, Muhammad Ali trying to get rid of him, the WBC shut him out, banning him for a lifetime. Hard to make ends meet, right? One thing leads to the next, and you're getting beat by I don't even know, what was it? The gust of wind, the ghost of Notre Dame. Who knows what it was? But it wasn't Marty Lewis really losing. He couldn't stay disciplined. Joey the Snowman Noko. Yeah, but he only had a couple of fights, so that was his issue. Marty Lewis has those meaty. He didn't have meaty hooks at all. He had crispy hooks. Difference. Crispy hooks. Wonderboy still has 2 to 3 title runs in him. Yeah, I think so too. Honestly, I hope Luana Pinheiro destroys her. Just for all that nonsense that she did when she was walking out. Let's hope that Pinheiro gets it done. So who has the biggest chance to surpass Jones? Listen, Makhachev would need to fight Gagey. He would need to fight Charles again. I'd say he would need to have 2 more wins. Oh, there's Mateus Nicolau. 2 more wins at lightweight. Defend that belt. Break the record. So he already has, what? 2 defenses. 2 more defenses. Break the record. Move up. Win the title. Defend the belt twice. So in total, that would be 5 more wins. 3 at welterweight, 2 at lightweight. Makhachev's the GOAT. Or win the title at welterweight, defend there. 1 more time, he's the GOAT. It's just that once these guys move up, become a double champ, defend their belt, it's like they're out. I'm going to defend my belt. You're not a true champion until you defend your belt. Once they defend their belt, they're out. So that's why it's really tough to pass up the GOAT. Tom Aspinall is the best chance to KO Jones. I mean, you know what? He's at a bit of a disadvantage just because he can't just move down or up a weight class. He's going to have to defend. He's going to have to get like 7 or 8 wins from here on out. He's going to have to win like 8 times. And it's heavyweight, right? So I don't even know if that would be enough, but maybe. Maybe like 8 wins in a row. If he can defend his belt 8 times without losing, then I'll say yeah. 2 more wins, Moksha passes Jones and goes to 9th. Fair enough. I could respect that. Goes to 9th. Corvo, I want to know your serious GOAT list. What is your real GOAT list? Give me your top 10. I mean, I'm not going to be shocked if Jones is outside of the top 5, but I really want to know what your real top 10 is if you have a top 10. Lucas Tracy, fun fact, when Lucas Tracy used to throw big, meaty Mormon hooks at his older brother back in the day. Yeah. That is a fact. Here we go, guys. Round 1. WMMA. Marty Lewis. Well, I always say Marty Lewis is the greatest combat sport athlete of all time. There's only so many fighters that would be able to beat MMA fighters today in MMA. I put Marty Lewis up there. They're slugging. Yeah. There we go. There's a fun fight. Oh, no. Now it's back. See? This is how every WMMA starts. Every WMMA fight starts fast like that just because they want to go in there and prove that, oh, we're really here. We're going to set a statement. Then they punch each other a few times. Then they're out at range for the rest of the fight. Shadow boxing. I've seen this a million times. They go out there trying to show everyone, you know what? We actually are pretty tough. We're not going to be boring like the rest of them. And then they resort to what this is. Shadow boxing at range. Oh, yep. Reboss shadow boxing at range. I've seen it. Don't get fooled by it. If I could have a penny for every time there's been an absolute war the first 10 seconds of a WMMA fight, and then it's turned out to be an absolute snooze fest, I'd be a billionaire. Spam. How do I stop the delay? Is Marty Usman top 10? Yes. I think he is. Thoughts on the sparring footage between Marty Lewis and Ali? How did you get your hands on it? I've seen the sparring footage. I mean, I saw them spar, but yeah, Muhammad Ali ducked him for a reason, bro. He was spitting out teeth. So that's all I'm going to say. I remember Marty Lewis knocked him down and said, I told you you'd be spitting out teeth, bitch. I told you, man. That was the holler heard around the world, they used to say. Looked up Marty Lewis. He has a career from 1917, 1921. You're looking at the wrong Marty Lewis. Am I the only one who has no idea? Okay, let me fill you in. Marty Lewis is the guy Muhammad Ali ducked. And I just, everyone who's a real boxing fan who was watching back in the day knows of Marty Lewis. It's just that, listen, the WBC, Showtime, the big brand boxing, they tried to erase him from history because Muhammad Ali openly ducked him. It was shameful for him. And Muhammad Ali, poster boy of boxing, the god of boxing, he couldn't go out like that knowing that he ducked him, and he wanted to cover it up. So they banned him for a lifetime from the WBC, and they tried to erase him from history. There's a reason you don't hear about Marty Lewis, but you hear about Joe Frazier. There's a reason why you don't hear about Marty Lewis, but you hear about George Foreman. There's a reason why you don't hear about Marty Lewis, but you hear about Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis. Muhammad Ali, dude. I'm telling you, bro. Muhammad Ali was the man, but he'll never be the greatest. After what I saw in the freaking sparring room, after what I saw in the ring. Marty schooled Frazier? Oh. You're acting like I haven't seen it. There was never a rematch for Marty Lewis. No one ever wanted to rematch him. And that's another thing. Marty Lewis wanted to be a part of these epic trilogies and rematches, but every opponent would want to duck him after they got done with him because they knew they couldn't beat him. Is this true? Yeah. Ali was pissing blood. I mean, you know, I think they over exaggerate it, but he was spitting out teeth. He spat out a couple of teeth. There's a reason why Muhammad Ali isn't seen as a guy that used to show his teeth into his latter half of his career. It's because one of them looked kind of phony. Try to find me a photo of Muhammad Ali smiling. Seriously. Seriously. There's a reason why he's not ranked. He's not in the Boxing Hall of Fame. There's a reason why he's not in the Boxing Hall of Fame. Let me look at Marty Lewis. I can't just look him up on Google. Obviously, they have the files erased. But I have a old head boxing app that I'm gonna gatekeep where they have everyone's real record. It's called Real Boxing. If you guys know, you know, Real Boxing is the best place to find real records. Here we go. Let's go to Marty Lewis's record. Dude, this fight sucks. I told you guys this fight sucks. Yeah, try to find me a photo of Muhammad Ali smiling with teeth. You won't find one. Here we go. Marty Lewis record. Chuck Wepner, Joe Frazier, Ken Norton, Buster Matis, Mac Foster. Knocked out Mac Foster in the first round. Really underrated win as well. Leon Spinks. Destroyed Leon Spinks. Marty Lewis versus Bruce Lee. Who wins? Thank you for the $2. Yeah, of course. Thank you for the $2. Come on, dude. That's disrespectful at this point. That's disrespectful. That's like asking me Bruce Lee versus Francis Ngannou at that point. Obviously, Marty Lewis. Thank you for the $2. Marty Lewis is the shoeless Joe Jackson of boxing. The shoeless Joe Jackson of boxing. I don't even know what the hell that is. What the hell? Shoeless Joe Jackson. Oh, he's an American baseball player. That's pretty funny, dude. He's a real guy. Shoeless Joe Jackson. What happened with Shoeless Joe Jackson? Did they try to erase him from history? I only know Ali, Frazier, Tyson, Pacquiao, man. Yeah, well, those are some of my favorites. I think Mayweather is a guy that gets shed on a little bit too much because he's one of the best defensive boxing fighters in history. Not big on Canelo, though. Canelo's boring as hell. I mean, Mayweather was kind of boring, but at least he knew how to sell a fight. I'll give that to Mayweather. He knew how to sell a fight. I used to watch Mayweather. I'm being real. I used to watch Mayweather fights before I ever got into MMA. I watched Mayweather versus Berto. I watched both of his fights with Maidana. I saw his fight with Pacquiao, of course. I'm pretty sure I saw one other. I think I saw his fight with that dude with the goatee. What's his name? That's when I was falling out of boxing a little bit. Well, what's his name, that dude with the goatee? You guys know who I'm talking about? Some of you guys know who I'm talking about. This was like, forget his name, dude. None worse than Marty. Many great boxers were. Yeah, maybe it was. No, it was Robert Guerrero. I'm pretty sure I saw him fight Guerrero. I don't know if it was Cotto. I think it was Guerrero. Well, yeah, many great boxers were erased from history due to political reasons. That's something that people don't understand is Ali had a serious grip on the promotions just because of how marketable he was. And I'll give that to Muhammad Ali. He was definitely marketable. He knew how to talk. But Marty Lewis was one of those guys that he was like a Sean Strickland back in the day. He was a truth speaker. And although Muhammad Ali was pretty epic in base too, he was the poster child, right? He had the look, he had the freaking sauce, but you know, he didn't really have the sauce, right? He was like, that was like the perfect guy that they could promote up to the top. Everyone liked Muhammad Ali, not everyone liked Marty Lewis. We're not going to talk Mac Foster. He did beat Mac Foster. Seriously, you want me to pull up Mac Foster? I think I may even have a photo of Mac Foster getting knocked out by Marty Lewis. There's Mac Foster. Mac Foster. That's hilarious. Yo, Mac Foster. There's Mac Foster. There's the photo of Mac Foster getting knocked. Yo, Mac Foster getting chinned. Getting chinned by Marty Lewis. Crazy, bro. Yo, Mac Foster was to be respected. Mac Foster was to be respected. Marty Lewis cleaned him up before Muhammad Ali ever got to him. Everyone knows Ali used to jack Marty's style, bro. Fuck, this fight sucks, man. Shoeless Joe was banned from MLB for life, throwing the 1919 World. Oh, that's crazy. He threw the World Series. Have you heard about the Black Sox scandal? Yeah, they got caught up in the mob. The mob. They got caught up in the mob, right? Right? The gambling scandal. Scandal. I can't even the scandal. I'm pretty sure I've heard of that. I just forget like exactly who were the culprits and who were the stars back then. That's pretty interesting, though. I mean, that's one thing that Marty Lewis did make his fair share of mistakes. I mean, there's a reason why he was banned for life. It wasn't all just Muhammad Ali ducking him, but that was a big part of it. And they'll never teach you about it in school. So, GSP Cruz. Cruz is your second greatest of all time, man. All right. Let me look up Dominic Cruz's record. Let's see what's what. Dominic Cruz record. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Lost to Uriah Faber. He beat Charlie Valencia. He beat Ian McCall, Ivan Lopez, Joseph Benavidez. That's a good win. Joseph Benavidez again. Good win. Brian Bowles, Scott Jorgensen, Uriah Faber. Good win. Demetrius Johnson. Good win. Takeya Mizugaki. Okay. I mean, like, he knocked him out. There's that. Knocked him out in the first round. TJ Dillashaw, good win. Uriah Faber again, good win. So he beat TJ, Faber, Demetrius Johnson, Joseph Benavidez. He beat Pedro Munoz, and he lost to Cody Garbrandt, Henry Cejudo, and Marlon Vera. Listen, man, I think Cruz is one of the GOATs. I just don't know if this is enough. Like, he has great wins. Demetrius Johnson is a good win, but Demetrius Johnson was pretty young. To be fair, that was only a couple years before he won the belt, but still. TJ, Faber, I don't know. Like, I just think he would need a little bit more, man. If he had beat DJ like 3 times, if he had beat DJ twice, right? If he had beat TJ multiple times, I know that people don't love multiple wins, but that just means that it's just beating a guy with a legendary record like Demetrius Johnson multiple times would be special. That's just why I can't put Cruz that high. And also, he just didn't really finish that many fights. He wasn't really completely... Cruz was schooling people, but he wasn't beating the pulp out of people, all right? He wasn't beating the pulp out of them. And I think that's what makes some of these champions specials. They really ruled their division with an iron fist. Could you tell me that Dominic Cruz ruled with an iron fist? Huh? Because I know Volk did. All right? I know that, for example, even Holloway at one point looked like he was ruling with an iron fist. Right? None of his losses count because he wasn't in his prime. I mean, to say none of them count is a little bit insane. Like, losses always count. I'm sorry, man, but losing to Dominic Cruz, that counts. I mean, Cody Garbrandt, sorry. Losing to Cody Garbrandt counts, okay? That definitely counts. Losing to Cejudo, okay, I can wipe it off. I don't even care. Don't even care if you lost to Cejudo. That doesn't really matter that much. Because, I mean, listen, Cruz has pillow hands, and he took that fight on like 7 days' notice, coming off the couch after being out for years. So that hardly counts. Marlon Vera, I understand it, right? But still, I just don't know if the rest of his career is enough. I get the idea that he was a bantamweight, and that's really impressive. But the bantamweight division, like, it's the same thing as Silva. It just wasn't as unbelievably stacked as it is these days. Like, you can't convince me that Uriah Faber was as dangerous as some of the bantamweights that are around these days. Read the rest of the list anyways? Sure. I'll read the rest of the list. Man, this fight sucks, dude. This fight sucks. The first 10 seconds looked amazing, but now, dude, Amanda Ribas really does look like Jose Aldo when she starts getting punched. Cruz, DJ3, Volk 4, Aldo 5, Aldo Habib. Okay, I honestly don't mind Aldo at 5, but again, it's like I have a hard time putting you say Aldo and Habib. That's pretty decent. I just have a hard time putting people in front of Habib that have lost and gotten knocked out a bunch of times when they were around their prime. And that's why people say that I overrate Habib is I put Habib high up, but I just have a hard time putting people above him that have lost in their prime or lost multiple times when they have a record that's kind of similar, right? If someone has a couple more wins than Habib, but they've gotten knocked out, it's hard for me to put them above Habib, but I think that I might start considering putting Usman slightly ahead, but I don't know because Usman lost twice to Edwards. He lost twice to Edwards and he got shut down by Edwards, right? So I don't know. Hard for me to put Usman ahead of Habib as well, even though they're very close. That's an Otobai. I'm happy that he put an end to that. That fight was horrible. It was boring. I'm really happy that he got the submission. And you know what? Good for him. He had a decent performance. He definitely broke Uros Medic, which is good. I thought Medic was going to win that fight. I didn't know who Otobai was until a couple of days ago, and his grappling looked great. Apparently, that's not even what he's best at. So yeah, great cardio. He's gonna be a real snooze fest to watch for the next 10 years. But who cares, man? Maybe he'll actually start to knock some guys out as well. And seeing him do that to like a highly ranked opponent would just be more interesting. Let's read the rest of the list. Habib, Aldo as well. You had Habib and Aldo in there. What's the rest of your list? Okay, yeah. Silva, Romero, Jones, Usman, Stipe at 10. You have no way do you have Yoel Romero. There is no way you have Yoel Romero in your top 10. You're going to have to explain that to me. You are going to have to explain that to me. And also, you're going to have to explain Jones all the way up there too, once again. It's just because you value some of his wins so little because he was beating guys that were unbelievably small compared to him. But, oh, there's a nice... See, this is the issue with WMMA. They're landing... Oh, there's the knockout. End it. Yes. She's complaining, but she's not defending herself. Wow, Ribas has a ton of scar tissue. I don't even know if that's scar tissue, but my point is, holy crap, does her face get busted up when she fights. She looks like Aldo. She literally looks like Aldo right now. Am I the only one that thinks Ribas, even when she's not busted up, has like a female Aldo version face going on? Yeah, that spinning kick definitely rocked her. I was going to say, this is why WMMA sucks. They're landing spinning wheel kicks and they're not even rocking each other. But then she rocked her with a couple more shots and ended it. So she shut me up. Ribas just killed her. I mean, good for Ribas, but that fight was boring as hell. Here come the Ribas simps all over the world, creaming their pants because Amanda Ribas gets a win. Lucas, what do you think of the 2000s UFC pre-fight gladiator song videos? Gets me hyped as hell every single time. I thought that the old tracks were pretty interesting. I thought that they were pretty good. I mean, listen, man, I wasn't allowed to watch UFC back in the early 2000s just because I was, again, just a boxing guy through and through. I was under the impression that MMA and UFC was just not very classy and, again, just brutality, really. I'm kidding, man. But yeah, they're cool. They're cool. Romero was robbed so many times. He only has one real loss in his prime. Yeah, but I don't only count primes. That's the issue, bro. You guys have to count everything. It doesn't mean you have to count a loss outside of your prime as heavily as a loss in your prime. I'm not saying that. Or a loss in your UFC debut as heavily as a loss when you're actually like closing in on your prime or close to your prime. I still count all losses. Like Anderson Silva, if Anderson had lost only once and then retired, after he lost to, or let's say he lost to Weidman twice and then lost to DC and then retired, then I would say, all right, man, maybe Anderson's a little bit higher. But I think that yes, a lot of those losses are kind of meaningless at a certain point, but there's still L's, and you can't just completely scoff at them. Up a division barely counts. Okay, well, in Bellator, I'm agreeing with you because I don't even consider that the big leagues. Unless you're in your prime and you start losing in Bellator, like, for example, Demetrius Johnson losing in ONE FC kind of counts to me because ONE FC is pretty decent, and Demetrius wasn't that old. I know Demetrius is getting up there now, but I agree. 46 Yoel is kind of like a 37-year-old DJ, right? I mean, 46 Yoel has to be judged differently, but I agree. The reason why I don't really count Yoel's losses in Bellator is just because everyone knows that Yoel doesn't even train hard these days. Yoel literally goes to the gym, hits a couple sets of bench, and then that's his fight week. That's his fight week training. I do not think Yoel trains hard, guys. I think he's in it for the money at this point. He shows up for the money, relies on his durability. He doesn't even try. That was an issue even when he was in the UFC. He was hardly trying. But come on, you can't put Yoel in the top 10. You put Yoel in the top 10, that means you have to think that he beat Whitaker. And I don't think that he beat Whitaker. I think Whitaker beat him twice. Yoel Romero record. Let me see. Okay, so he lost to Whitaker. He lost to Costa. Yeah. But even if, let's say he won those, Clifford Starks, Ronnie Marks, Derek Brunson, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13-0. That would have been 13-0. And his good wins would have been, I guess, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say good wins, but I'll say Derek Brunson. Brad Tavares, okay, maybe. Tim Kennedy, Lyoto Machida, Jacare Souza, Chris Weidman, Robert Whitaker twice, Luke Rockhold, Paulo Costa. Okay, yeah. Well, you know what? That would be a really good resume to have. That'd be an amazing resume to have. I see. If you think that Yoel won both Whitaker fights, he beat Paulo Costa and he beat Adesanya, then I would say, okay, I could see him being top 10, but I don't think that he beat Whitaker. And I don't think that those look great because even though Yoel was older, we know we have to judge Yoel differently than these other guys because Yoel was elite. He was elite. He wasn't in his prime, but he was still elite. Or a draw in the second. I know he lost the first fight. Okay. Well, losing the first fight's not the best look either, but no, I don't think it's a win for Yoel or a draw, dude. I think that the argument is a draw or a win for Whitaker. Whitaker easily won the first 2 rounds. He won the 4th. I just don't think the second round is a 10-8 because Whitaker pops right back up and starts battling it out with Yoel for a solid 3.5 minutes. Whitaker did really well at the end of that 3rd round. And so I don't really consider that a 10-8. But yeah. If you consider it a 10-8, then it's a draw. But a draw and a loss, that does not do wonders for the GOAT list. And then the Costa fight was very close. Very close fight with Costa, but I thought Yoel won. I do think Yoel won that. And he definitely beat Izzy. But that was boring as hell. So it's not like you can't really rate his win over Izzy that high. Right? Because it was such a terrible fight. The 4th is close, but Yoel rocked him twice. Then clear 10-8 in the 5th. Wait, you're saying Yoel rocked Whitaker twice in the 4th? He rocked him at the end of the 4th. Yeah, he stumbled him, but that's not enough. That's not enough for Yoel to win the round. Yoel hardly did anything in the 4th. He took that round off for the most part. 10-8 in the 5th. I agreed. 5th round was a 10-8 because he dropped him badly and then just controlled him against the fence for the rest of the round and beat him up a little bit after he rocked him. Costa is one. Clearly, let's not beat around the meat. Let's not beat around the meat. I think that it was a really close fight, but I remember giving that fight to Yoel. I think Yoel won that. Lucas Realist, 1 Jones, 2 GSP, 3 DJ, 4 Silva. Nah, Silva's not in my top 5. My list is Jones, GSP, Demetrius Johnson. I'm gonna say Volk. Okay. You know what? I may just say Habib. Right? I may say Habib. I'm gonna say Aldo. Oof, I don't know, man. I don't even know if I have Aldo ahead of Usman at this point. Usman didn't even lose to Hamzat though. I think having a draw with Hamzat's pretty good. So I count that as a draw for Usman. If Usman wins his next 2 fights, he's gonna be up there. I really hope he does. Usman's in my top 10. I don't know. It gets tricky. It gets tricky. I would say Stipe is at 10. I would say 9 is gonna be someone like maybe Dominic. I'll put Dominic Cruz at like 9. I'll put DC at 8. I'll put Silva at 7. Nah, man. Nah, dude. You know what? I'm gonna have Usman at 10. I'm gonna go Usman 10. I can't have Usman at 10. Fuck, this is tough. I'm gonna go with Cruz at 10. I'm gonna go DC 9. I'm gonna go Silva 8. I'm gonna go Usman 7. I'm gonna go Aldo 6. I'm gonna go Habibi 5. Habibi. And I'm gonna go Volk 4. But where's Makhachev, bro? Where does Makhachev rank? Makhachev just beat Volk twice and Charles. It's pretty insane. Volk twice and Charles. Honestly, man, I think I'd be a little bit of a hypocrite to have Cruz in there for beating DJ once. Honestly, you know what? No, fuck that. I have a new list. Want to hear it, guys? This is my new list. It's easier for me to go from 1 and on. My new list is Volkanovski, number 1, because I think that even losing to Makhachev, the fact that he came back in the post-fight speech, post-fight press conference and showed a good account of himself, in my opinion, that kind of takes away the loss. I'm going to go with 2 John Jones. I'm joking, man. I'm going to go with 1 Jones, okay? 2 GSP, 3 DJ, 4 Volk, 5 Habibi, okay? I'll go with Habibi at 5. I'm going to go with Jose Aldo at 6. I'm going to go with Usman at 7. I'm going to go with Makhachev at 8. I'm going to go with Anderson Silva at 9. And I'm going to go with DC at 10. I'm going to go with Dominic Cruz at 11. Fuck, dude. I don't know what to do with Cruz, bro. You know, the issue with Cruz is just that there's so many other fighters that have had freaking legendary performances. Cruz's performances are forgettable. A lot of them are forgettable because he wasn't beating people to a pulp. That's the thing. You kind of need to rule over a division with an iron fist, right? Even GSP had more finishes than Cruz. If Aspinall wins the belt, then gets 6 or 7 title defenses, where would he? Oh my gosh. If he wins that many times, he's easily top 5. I don't know. Maybe top 3. He whooped DJ though? Yeah, I know. That's a great win, but it wasn't a prime Demetrius Johnson. That's like if Jose Aldo beat Volkanovski. Not even, bro. Actually, yeah. It's like if Jose Aldo beat Volk in a way. Right? So it's a good win. Great win. Honestly, yeah, great win for Cruz. Cruz is up there. No, I'm going to put Cruz ahead of DC. Honestly, I might even have Cruz ahead of Anderson. 1 Volk, 2 Jan, 3 Pereira. Okay, that's a terrible list. How the fuck can you put Jan at number 2? Or even Volk at 1? What about Anthony Smith? Anthony is number 19 for me. No, all jokes aside, he's actually number 19. Anshul, Anshul. Yeah, Anshul Jubilee is the best fighter out of India. So in a way, he is one of the GOATs. Anshul Jubilee is literally the most dangerous. He is, if you think about it, probably the GOAT of all combat sports just because of how big the population is in India. If you just think about it like that. My top 10 is Jones 1, 2 GSP, 3 DJ. Oh, this man's glazing Habib. 4 Volk, 5 Alex. Oh no, 4 Habib. I was thinking, man, you have Habib at 4. That's pretty crazy. But you know what? I respect it. I think you can't have Habib any higher than Volk, bro. I'm sorry. Volk took 2 losses. Damn it, bro. It actually sucks that Volk took 2 losses now. Fuck. He's in that Usman category, bro, but he didn't lose in his own division. That's even better. Different than Usman category. Yeah, I think that you could never put Habib, in my opinion, past 5, but whatever. Habib 4. 5 Alex, 6 Aldo, 7 Silva, 8 DC, 9 Usman, 10 Cruz. Honestly, that's a pretty good list. It's a pretty good list. Those guys are all in my top 10. But who are you missing? You have Usman 9, 10 Dominic. Oh, you're missing Stipe. Yeah. Yeah, Stipe's not in my top 10, honestly. I mean, Stipe's still good, but he also got knocked out by Francis, and it's like he got knocked out by DC. I know people get KO'd at heavyweight. I totally understand. But that means that your KOs also mean less. Heavyweight's such a hard division to rank people as like the best all time because there's just a higher likelihood of losing, right? And there's a higher likelihood of there being like some kind of a fluky win. I wouldn't say fluke, but I'd say that it's less skill at heavyweight and it's more just who the fuck lands first. So at least it's more heavyweight than any other division. Volk is in top 50? Oh, yes, he is, man. How are you doing on picks? I didn't make picks for this week, bro. I wanted to do picks. I did not get around to it. But I've gotten my picks wrong on the card. If you're going to say picks, like, I'm just saying I didn't make a formal official picks, but I'm picking Talbot to win this. Okay. Who did I pick? I picked Rebus to win the last one. I thought Rebus was going to win. Let me check. I already forgot who the first. I picked Medic to beat Urobai, so that was wrong. And I think Chase Hooper is going to beat Levitt. I think Michael Morales is going to beat Matthews, and I think that Brendan Allen is going to beat Paul Craig. So those are my picks. I'll go with Allen. I'll go with Morales. I'll go with Hooper, and I'll go with Talbot. Let's see. Max is in my top 15. No, Woodley is not top 15, dude. I'm sorry. Woodley's not top 15. Woodley had a few losses, man, but while he was close to his prime, bro. And his championship reign, it's not like Woodley went on this 10-fight win streak before getting a belt. Woodley was on like a 3 or 4 fight win streak when he won the belt. He had lost a bunch of times before then, and I don't know. His championship reign wasn't that crazy. He beat Wonderboy twice. One of them was a draw, so only once. He beat Damian Maia and Darren Till. And, of course, Robbie Lawler. There you go. That's a good win. But Till was a good win, but it didn't age well. Damian Maia was, Wonderboy is good, but then he had a draw with him, and then he got dominated at every single fight after his fight with Till. Jamal Hill's 3-0 against Brazil. Wow. Yeah. Thiago, Walker, and Glover. True. Talbot is losing this fight already. Crazy how Jeremy Stevens has 18 UFC losses. That's insane. I did not know that. That's crazy. 18 UFC losses is ridiculous. I mean, he was down for a long time. Tyron's secret weapon was his rap music. Well, obviously. I actually think his rap is pretty good, though. And that was my secret weapon when I would go in the gym and hit a PR. I wanted to listen to T Wood. Money in the Love, my favorite song. Look up Money in the Love, Tyron Woodley. Money in the Love, man. Let it burn through your chest. Dude, Tyron Woodley is actually a really good rapper. The best freestyle that he did was he did a freestyle on Sway in the Morning. I used to play that every single day going to school back in the day, bro. Lucas, there are reports that Umar will main event a UFC Saudi card 2nd March 2024. Honestly, I'd like to see them do another card in Abu Dhabi. That's pretty dope. A fight night. Because, they're not going to Abu Dhabi. Saudi Arabia. Yeah, you're right. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see that. Who knows? Maybe they'll make it a pay-per-view. And they'll have Makhachev fight on it. My top 5 rappers. I have a top 5. I would say, honestly, Nas. Nas has to be up there, man. Just a lyrical genius. A little bit deeper than the others. I'm gonna go with Run DMC. I feel like you have to kind of go with Run DMC just because of how influential they were. I'm gonna go with Run. Marty Lewis. Oh my gosh. Marty Lewis wasn't even listening to rap growing up. I think you have to go with Nas and Run DMC in the top 2 right off the bat, right off rip. I guess you kind of have to put in Biggie as well. You gotta have to go with Biggie. Oh my gosh, man. I would say I gotta go with Mobb Deep. I think like Mobb Deep's got to be in the top 5 just because like they were on a different wave, totally different wave than people even gave them recognition for. So I go Mobb Deep. And 5, I'm gonna go with T Wood, Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley. It takes a special kind of appreciation, a special type of taste. It's just a different type of taste you have to have for T Wood to understand his lyrics. So I go with T Wood. Bro's trying to be right. No, for real. For real, it is a little bit disrespectful to say, listen, I totally understand Jay-Z. I totally understand Eminem and Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is great, but I just can't personally have him top 5. Like, listen, Kendrick's good for these days, but you don't understand the type of impact that Run DMC had. So you don't understand the impact. And also, if you don't have Biggie in there, dude, if you don't have Tupac, sorry, man. You got to have Tupac in there. Oh my gosh. Mobb Deep. Yeah, man. Listen, ain't no such thing as halfway crooks, bro. Like, we used to have that fucking booming in the gym back in Brooklyn. So, what can I say, dude? Do you like Tupac? I'm a fan of Tupac. Yeah, Tupac's got to be in the top 10. He's got to be in the top 5. But that's just ignorance. A lot of people these days, they haven't listened to Tupac. They haven't listened to Biggie. I totally understand. Rakim, yeah. Rakim's in there. Rakim's got to be in there as well. Anyone else know any old head rappers? Tupac. Marty Lewis. I'm not an old head, low bro. It's not. That's super disrespectful. See, the people these days that are too lazy to learn their culture will say things like, I ain't an old head, bro. I didn't grow up on them. Well, there's a difference between not growing up on them and then omitting them because you're too lazy to do your research. So don't even talk on the topic. Don't even speak on the topic. Don't even touch on it. Seriously. Ice Cube's higher than Eminem. He's higher than Kanye and he's higher than Jay-Z. But people aren't ready for that conversation. Ice Cube was so lit. Ice Cube was on another level, bro. I remember that one time he put a couple of rhymes together and we were all freaking hooting and hollering, man, for Ice Cube. You're a fan of DMX? I actually do like DMX. DMX actually has some great tracks. He has some good tracks, 100%. Roy Jones Jr.? I mean, if you're into gimmicks, sure. If you like gimmicky rap, 100%. I'm more of a student of the game. I'm a bigger fan of I mean, listen, Woodley is one of my favorite rappers. I do have him top 5. I have Woodley top 5, but you know, he's the only one. He's like the odd man out just because he's a lyrical genius. Yo, Woodley. 50 Cent is in the top 10. 50 Cent, yo, actually, no joke. 50 Cent actually is one of my favorite rappers ever. 50 Cent has to be up there for me, dude. 50 Cent actually is an amazing rapper. Even his stuff when he fell off was actually, he has good tracks even when he fell off. Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's up there, but again, I don't understand how he's out here competing with Ice Cube and Run DMC. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. He's hard to compete with Run DMC and Ice Cube. Talbot is on the back. Wu-Tang Clan, obviously, no, none of you cats have mentioned Wu-Tang Clan, which is pretty crazy. Big L. If you guys aren't listening to Big L, then sorry. What are you even doing? Tribe Called Quest. Obviously, they got to be up there. Public Enemy up there as well. Method Man. If you're not listening to Method Man, I don't even know what you're doing. Yeah. Bro's looking at all rap groups. No, I'm not, man. I'm not even on Google. I'm just looking at my albums. I'm looking at my rotation, bro. I'm looking at the rotation on the albums. Yeah, dude. No, but personally, I got Wu-Tang Clan number 7. I have Big L number 8, and I think that yeah, as I've said, Tupac has to be in the top 3. The level of heat that he was coming with in the 90s. The level of heat that Tupac was coming with in the 90s. And obviously Biggie in the whole Biggie's flow was unstoppable, unfathomable as well. Yeah. I personally have Lil Boosie in my top 10 too, man. Lil Boosie's got to be up there, man. Lil Boosie, he's like kind of like Marty Lewis. They wrote him out. They tried to erase him from history. Hobson, honestly, I mean, listen, as an old school fan, like an old school hip hop fan, as I said, if you're not educated, don't even touch on the topic. That's always something that I learned from a very young age. If you don't know, don't touch on it. Don't speak on it. Old heads respect Hobson. They respect Hobson. He makes real music. Bone Thugs and Harmony. They're pretty epic too. What do you know about Lil Boosie? I've been listening to Boosie since I was a kid, man. What are you talking about? Boosie was on when I was in the cribbo. When I was at the crib, bro. Back in the crib days. Boosie was the guy playing in the background. You look like you love Logic. Logic, dude. Yeah, Logic is a fraud, man. Logic's a fraud. Sorry. Nas is in my top 10. He's in my top 5, obviously. Ice Cube has 3 good albums. No, for real. Ice Cube has a whole array of projects, man. Ice Cube has a whole array of projects. You know, we don't call them albums. We call them projects. Seriously. Learn your language. Learn your language, buddy. Don't come talking to me unless you've been at. What the heck is this position? What the hell is this? Jesus, that was weird. This fight is literally, yeah, it's literally gay. Oh my gosh. Hey, at least Talbot's beating him up. Man, this fight sucks. This whole card has been trash. Bro's been watching Anthony Fantano. Oh my God. Anthony Fantano wishes he knew a damn thing about hip hop. I've been listening to hip hop for a while, man. Did you guys listen? Did you guys listen to that new T-Wood? Did you guys listen to that new T-Wood rap? Seriously. I was burning up to a T-Wood album this morning. Legendary stuff. What's the song again by T Wood? Well, the one that I was playing this morning, or the one? I mean, there's a lot of songs. It's a lot of good ones. My personal favorite is "Money in the Love." My personal favorite, "Old Town Road," cover by Tyron Woodley and Randy Couture is pretty epic too. And obviously, Slide, T Wood, and T Dubo. T Dubo's actually up there too in my all-time go list. Yo, T Wood has a song with T Dubbo and Burner 415. T Dubbo and Burner 415 actually underrated as fuck. They're actually up there for me too. Hardcore fans know. And then obviously I got Falling In and Out of Love is a classic as well. Yeah, I was burning up. I was burning up to the T Wood track this morning. Wake and Bake T Wood style. Straight up. Lucas, you told me that I could. Oh, yes. Shoot me a message at lucastfitness@gmail.com. And I got you. Shoot me a message at lucastfitness@gmail.com. All right, let me actually pay attention to this fight to see if it's entertaining right now. Body kick, hook, knee up the middle from Talbot, and back on the ground. Good elbows. Oh, he's beating him up. He's beating him up. Every single one of the fights have been stopped by like a boring. Oh, there's a choke. There's a rear naked choke. He's out. UFC debut win. Oh, that's a terrible celebration. He thought that looked way cooler in his head than it really did. I spent an entire summer when I was 14 listening to Rolling Papers 2. But I honestly think Wiz Khalifa is underrated for real. I'm not joking around at all. Wiz Khalifa actually makes really good music. I like Wiz Khalifa's songs too. I'm not even talking about the popular ones. Wiz Khalifa actually has a ton of good tracks. Wiz is underrated, man. KK blown Wiz. That's a good one. Let me check out the. Let me read some of the Wiz tracks. I'll put you guys on some Wiz tracks. 420 freestyle. Look at what I got on. Gangster 101. Look into my eyes. That's another good one. About that. The Thrill. Rotation. Man. Yeah, I mean, I don't think those are the only. Wait. Honestly, bro, I don't even have that many of his tracks, bro. But those are just some of them. Let's see the other ones. Still Wiz, good track. Oh, yeah, dude. Rolling Papers, Black and Yellow. Forgot about that one. See You Again. I mean, that's not his. I don't think that's his best song. It's a good song. Roll Up, No Sleep, Black and Yellow, good tracks. We Dem Boys, So High. Work Hard, Play Hard, another one. Yeah, Wiz Khalifa actually has some good tracks, man. Bro got Still. Yo, I actually did get Still Wiz off of UFC 4. That's a fact, bro. 100%. It is on, dude. UFC 4 put me onto a lot of good tracks. Put me onto a good Future song too. What's the Future song that I got from UFC 4? It's POA, dude. POA. It's the Future song from UFC 4. All right, man. Thank God. Now we have the freaking People's Main Event coming up next. Put me on that British dude. Put me on to one of the guys. A British song called like Higher Power. Man, this fight night's been horrible. I don't even know if I'm gonna do a recap video, guys. No, this guy's a horrible post-fight interview. Horrible speech. Oh, he painted his nails too. Future's fire, yeah. And Young Thug too. Young Thug does make some good tracks. UFC put me on. Don't rush. Oh, don't rush. Yeah, that's another one. That's a good track. You listen to Future? I mean, yeah, I think he has good songs, man. I mean, I listen to a lot of these people, but I don't. I'm not like listening to whole albums from these guys, right? But every now and then they'll have like a good track. These days, like I haven't got a new song in years, so I'm not keeping up with anything new that anyone's putting out. As I said, I'm more of a, like an old head guy. I listen to projects. I don't listen to albums. I'm not a big album guy. I'm more of a project guy. Money Man, dude. Money Man actually has some good tracks, dude. Money Man actually has a couple of good ones. Rap is trash right now. Yeah. Tabitha Ritchie is with Callum Walsh. Dustin Poirier in the building. Wait, is Callum Walsh with Tabitha Ritchie? I had no idea. That's actually pretty interesting. No way. Let's look up Callum Walsh. I didn't even know that. Damn, man. I mean, dude, I don't even think she's that great, but interesting. That's actually interesting. Wow, look at that. I wonder how. Oh, he probably slid. He probably slid in the DMs, dude. Makes sense. You know what? That makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, bro, you already know she thinks she's gonna be like the next thing, right? Wow, look at that. I don't know, dude. She looks like Paulo Costa. She looks like Paulo Costa, man. Central C, I think Central C is I don't think he's good, bro. I think a lot of that UK rap is overrated as hell, man, to be honest. There's a couple of good tracks from the UK, don't get me wrong, but I don't think a lot of it. Some people say it's so much better. It's really not. What do you think about Tom Aspinall interview? The one that he did with Nina Drama. I mean, I didn't listen to the interview. I clicked on the interview without knowing about the big question everyone's talking about. And then I checked the comments instantly, and everyone was talking about that one thing that made them sound weird. And then someone had the timestamp. I don't think it's that crazy. I think Tom Aspinall just was a little bit awkward trying to ask a weird question. Yeah. I can't sit through a 30-minute Nina Drama interview though. I like it when it's like a 5-minute interview, but when they're 30 minutes, I can't do it. I can't do that. Aspinall was on freak mode. Yeah. Aspinall was just joking. I know he was joking. Central C is corny. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Would you do an amateur MMA fight? I mean, what do you mean by that? Would I do one for free? Probably not, unless it was for some charity. And I thought it was like a interesting cause or fitting, like a pygmy charity. But yeah, if I ever do a fight, I'd like to get paid for it and to leverage the YouTube channel that I have, at least get paid for it. But yes, I would. Like, what the fuck? I know. I would not be surprised if the answer would really be yes. I think she's capping, bro. Bro, you hate on everything. UK rap, Themba, TJ Dillashaw, Luke Rockhold, the Amish, Jesus. Oh my gosh. I was not hating. I've never hated on Themba. I respect Themba big time. I respect what he does, man. And I also respect I've never hated on Rockhold. I just said I don't think Rockhold beats Yoel Romero in his prime, and I don't think Rockhold would beat someone like Adesanya. That's all I was saying. Tips for growing a YouTube channel. Stay consistent. You have to stay consistent, man. And you just post the videos that you want to post, man. Whatever comes to your mind, you think you could talk about it for 10 minutes, post that. Whatever you're most passionate about. And make sure the beginning of your videos are high energy. Make sure you're high energy in your videos. Do you think Craig is the best record? Oh, the best beard in the UFC? I don't know, maybe. I don't know. That's a good one. I don't know, maybe. I guess he's up there, right? Maybe Yuri? Um, yeah, I don't know. Craig beat Jamal. I know he's beaten a lot of guys. He beat Magomed Ankalaev. He beat Jamal Hill. Beat Nikita Krylov. Paul Craig's beaten a ton of people, man. You still listening to Carice? Oh yeah, the Carice song. The Gon's walkout song was epic, man. It was a really good song. But no, I just listened to that one song. I like that one song by him. Very cool song. The one that Gon walked out to. That was I really thought he was gonna win. Gon looked so confident when he was walking out. It looked like there was gonna be a new GOAT taking over the sport. It really did. Oh, here comes Jordan Levitt. He's walking out to Beyonce, man. You got Chase or Jordan? I've got Chase Hooper. I think Chase Hooper is gonna beat him up on the feet. And if Jordan Levitt takes it to the ground, I don't think it's gonna do much. Oh my gosh. The song Gon walked out to Jones was hard as fuck. It was, man. It was epic. The French track, the French rap. Oh my gosh, man. I don't know. Is he trying to play it up? Is he trying to play this up, or is this really what he's like? Is he actually this like flamboyant with his dance moves, or is he just playing it up, playing it into the meme? And you still haven't learned your lessons betting against one of the goats, the King of Kings. Jones looks very nervous walking out to face Gon. All I gotta say is Gon was looking like the coolest guy on the planet when he was walking out to fight Jones, but then he got embarrassed. It's a character that's true. Yeah, maybe. Doesn't this guy have a wife? Yeah, he does. Jordan's good on the ground. It's just like, what does he have on the feet? So that's why I'm going with Chase Hooper. Lucas, did you hear the devastating news of Snoop? Yes. I don't know how I did, man. I don't know how it popped up on my Instagram, but it did. I saw that he's quitting. He said he's quitting smoke. He didn't say smoking. He said quitting smoke, which is interesting. Hey, good for him. Great for him. I wonder what led him to that decision. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people trying to get Snoop Dogg on an interview to hear what he says about that. He said, "Let me have my privacy." I know. Interesting, man. I guess he's going to be shutting down. I guarantee you, Snoop's going to be shutting down those questions for no reason. He's going to treat this like it's so personal. I mean, listen, it's personal, but like, come on, man. You're Snoop Dogg. You can't just stop smoking weed and just leave it at that and not expect anyone to ask questions. You can't just go out like that. You got to freaking answer why. He's still going to take edibles? I doubt it, dude. I think he meant like he's done with weed. Weed is estrogenic. It is. What's Chase walking out to? I hate that you don't love John Jones. I mean, John Jones has given us a lot of things not to necessarily cheer him for, right? I've been saying that fact. Imagine getting KO'd to wake up to Levitt teabagging you. I know. What is he walking out to? This is going to be a good fight, though. I would not. I would not. Cold beans. I hate that you don't like Gagey. I don't mind Gagey. It's the Matrix. He did none of those things. Okay. There's footage of him doing some of them, dude. I mean, I don't mind Gagey. I'm just not like a huge Gagey fan. I'm just not, man. Like, I'm not even a big Poirier fan, but I feel like I'm a bigger Poirier fan than Gagey. Listen, I think it's really the grunts. I really think it's his fight style. And I guess a bit of his interviews, some of his interviews really turned me off to him around 2020, 2021. Gagey was like super salty those days. He's changed a little bit, but the guy goes out there and grunts like a maniac, man. Like, you know what I mean? I'm rooting for the guys that are in the Matrix, that are showing finesse. All right. Or they're just fucking putting it on people, but they're not out here grunting. I just don't like how he's super technical these days and he's still out here grunting and looking like Homer at the same time. But I still like Gagey. I still like Gagey. The sport would take a hit if he were to leave for sure. Do you prefer? Oh, I prefer Gagey over O'Malley. You kidding me, man? I think both of them are entertaining. I think both of them are entertaining. But I would say Gagey has given us more great fights. We have more of a reason to think that Gagey's going to be entertaining. Like, O'Malley doesn't go to war with people. And not that Gagey necessarily likes going to war these days, but we've only seen one all-time classic O'Malley fight. We've seen some good performances for sure, but like epic fights. Gagey's had more of them. Here we go. Chase Hooper and Jordan Levitt. Chase Hooper is going to beat him. Chase Hooper is going to win. He's going to beat the fuck out of Jordan Levitt. Oh, there's a takedown. There's a takedown from Jordan. He's going to get the takedown, but yep, Chase Hooper is ready for the grappling. This is why Chase Hooper wins this fight, guys. Look. Oh, hey. Who's the superior grappler now, huh? Jordan Levitt is just objectively a worse grappler. He's definitely stronger. There's a good knee to the body. What the heck? We're just smelling his finger. Good little pepper shot. Oh, that's a good scramble. Chase Hooper is now on top of him. Chase Hooper reversing the position. I would have loved to do a prediction just for this fight, and I wish that I had, because I was confident that Chase Hooper is going to win this. Unless he gets subbed right here, like, he's going to win this fight. Chase Hooper's spindly, man. He's flexible on the ground too, so we can get out of some of these bad positions. Oh, he's got an armbar. I'm telling you, man, Jordan is not as dangerous on the ground as Chase. You don't want to grapple with Chase Hooper. He's trying to get the arm. Bro, Jordan Levitt's going to get tapped, I'm telling you. I think he's going to get the armbar. Maybe not. We'll see. Levitt definitely has a jump right now. No, he doesn't. Oh, there's a good shot from Levitt. Yeah. Bro, Chase Hooper is insanely flexible on the ground. Crazy. He's going for another armbar. Dude, you don't want to get slammed. Oh! Big shot. I saw the eyes of Chase Hooper go back in his head. Big shot from Jordan Levitt. Holy crap. Bro, Chase has to keep this shit standing, but I guess he's comfortable here. I don't know. I just think there's too much of a chance of Jordan Levitt getting like the control time on top of him. So nice pepper shot from Chase. Oh, he's got his back. Nice. Yeah! Get him out of there! Let's go! Yeah! Woo! I fucking told you! Who the hell picks Levitt? Let's go! Chase Hooper gets it done. I'm telling you guys, man. Jordan ain't that great on the ground. I wish I did a prediction for this. I would have picked Chase Hooper from the get-go. I picked him to win as soon as this fight was made. I should have picked this fight publicly. Freaking knew Chase was going to get it done. Jordan Levitt is worse on the feet, and he's not as good on the ground. I've never been that impressed with Jordan Levitt in the grappling as I am with Chase. Hooper's actually a problem in that division with his grappling, at least. With his grappling, the guy's a problem. Just how bad is Patty? Patty's not that good. I think that, bro, I think that Chase Hooper would beat Pimblett. I swear I think he would beat Pimblett. This dude's he's an issue on the ground. He's an issue on the ground, man. Good win for Chase Hooper. Hooper beats Charles? No. Hooper's flexible? He is. This guy's real. He's legit on the ground. Listen, the grappling has never been the issue, and that's why I just didn't understand people picking Jordan. because Chase Hooper, that's where he's strongest. I would think that if someone's going to beat Chase, they're going to have to be the superior striker, and they're going to have to keep it standing. And if that fight was a stand-up battle, I think Chase Hooper has better striking. Even though it's looked like shit in the past, come on, man. Jordan Levitt doesn't have hands. Chase Hooper is coming off of a really impressive striking showcase, too. Hooper versus Benoit Saint Denis. No, we don't need to see that. That would be a massacre. Chase Hooper would annihilate Benoit Saint Denis. Come on, man. He would annihilate him. Levitt probably had 10 pounds of muscle on Hooper as well. Yeah, exactly. He looked way bigger than Chase. Way bigger than Chase. Hooper looks like Lucas Tracy. I mean, not really, but I could see why you would say that. Hooper versus Kopylov? Nah, man. Yeah, like Hooper should definitely bump up 2 weight classes to fight Kopylov. He just popped his shirt again to try to look hench in the interview. Both guys need the cookbook? Yeah. Damn, Jordan Levitt just got embarrassed. I'm telling you, man. I know people treat Chase Hooper as a meme, but he's actually pretty good. He's actually pretty good. A lot. He was expecting a 3-round war. Nah. He's about to have a kid, yeah. Damn. Dude is already married. Crazy. Yeah, man. I'm surprised people were going with freaking Levitt, bro. It's just stylistically a bad matchup for Levitt because Levitt wins fights on the ground. Chase Hooper, that's where he's best. He's actually really good on the ground, dangerous on the ground. Yo, I'm going to say this right now. I think that Chase Hooper has a chance to climb the all-time list in submissions. I know that this is going to sound like a little bit crazy, but Chase Hooper has like 4 submissions in the UFC at this point. This dude is what, 23, 24? I think he's 24. Chase Hooper record. Imagine how good he's going to be when he's 28 on the ground. So let's look at his UFC run. Submission heel hook. He's got a submission. Oh, okay, no. Nah, he's only got 1, 2. Okay, to be fair, he only has 2 submission wins. He's only got 2 submission wins, but yeah, still. Chase Hooper's good. He's lost to Steve Garcia, Steven Patterson, Alex Caceres. Honestly, though, he's what? 1, 2, 3, 5 and 3. 5 and 3 in the UFC. Not bad, not bad. Oh, they're showing a promo for Beneil and Arman. Why is RDA still ranked 10 at lightweight? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. He has 2, I know. Yeah, I thought he had like 4. Some of them are like TKOs on the ground for him. Benny's going to sleep him. I think Beneil gets him out of there. Co-main event's great, though. I'm going with Hooker. But I'd love to see Bobby Green pull it off. But I think Dan Hooker really did prove that. I don't know, though. He got his face broken. That's not a great look. But I think he did prove that he is coming back. He's on a little bit of a resurgence. Fuck. Grant Dawson, man. Can't believe I picked him. Hooker versus Green battle for the old folks home. Yeah. Rob Font, Figueiredo, Sean Brady, Kelvin Gastelum, Punelli Soriano, Dustin Stoltzfus. How the hell is he on the main card? I don't get it. Why is Dustin Stoltzfus on the main card? I just don't understand why they do that. Khalil Roundtree has Matt Mirzakhanov. Why are they putting Dustin on there? I get Pinelli Soriano's fun, but I don't get it, man. Dustin Stoltzfus has not won a single UFC fight. Fuck. What is the decision-making process with that? I'd love to ask a question like, there's no way they have a valid reason. There's no way they have a valid reason for putting him on the main card. If there was a fight, if there was a title fight, that could be a pay-per-view. That could be a great pay-per-view if there was a title fight. If you were to just kick off Stoltzfus and Pinelli Soriano and put that on the early prelims, and you put a title fight on there instead, boom, you've got yourself. Put Makhachev on there. Quick turnaround, Oliveira Makhachev too. That's a stacked pay-per-view. Unbelievably stacked. I can't wait for that fight night. Sick birthday card. Yeah, that's a good card to have on your birthday. Let's go Morales. Yeah, I'm going for Morales. Morales is Mexican? He's half Mexican? I didn't know that. Put Volk with Gagey. Shit, man. Let's do Gagey Volk, but let's start them on the ground. You know, in wrestling, how they start people on the ground sometimes. Let's do that, and then I'll accept the conditions. He's Ecuadorian, but also reps Mexico. Why does he rep Mexico? Oh, he trains out of Mexico, maybe. What's wrong with being Mexican? Nothing. I'm surprised that Michael Morales reps Mexico because I know he's not Mexican. He trains there. There you go. Yeah, but let's do Gagey versus Volk, but let's start them on the ground. If Gagey's really a good fighter, why would he turn that down, right? Let's start them. Let's start Gagey. Dude, I think Gagey would lose a fight if he was in full mount over Volk. If you started a fight between him and Volk on the ground, if Gagey was in full mount, he'd still lose. No, I'm kidding. But you guys know if Gagey was on bottom with any of these elite guys, he's getting treated like a freaking man. I don't even want to say what it is, but Gagey's getting absolutely destroyed. You think Davidson beats Font? Do I think Davidson beats Font? No, I don't. His only way is with the grappling. His only way was with the grappling, unless Davidson Figueiredo comes on with like some insanely buffed up speed and skills because he maybe hopped on sauce, but you never know. Soy Tracy, Marty versus Justin, just grappling. Who wins? Oh my god! Or who are you talking about? Marty Lewis or Justin Gagey? Oh, I mean Marty Lewis or Marty Usman. Gagey versus Cooper predictions. Versus Cooper? What are you talking about? Who the fuck is Cooper? What? Cooper? Oh, versus Hooper. Oh my gosh. Gagey would really win, but all I'm saying is if Gagey was on the ground with Chase Hooper, he's done. All I got to say is if fight started on the ground, Justin Gagey would literally get subbed. And you know it too. Chase Hooper would sub Gagey. But he would lose in a real fight just because it'd be hard for Chase Hooper to take Gagey down. Hooper, my fault? Yeah. Oh, Marty Lewis? Gagey or Marty Lewis in a grappling match? Honestly, I think Marty Lewis would probably beat him, but I might give the edge to Gagey just because I know he has takedown defense, and I don't know if Marty Lewis had the best double leg. But I know that if I mean Marty Lewis was the king in the street too. Like the guy used to beat people up on the streets sometimes. So I would say Marty Lewis's grappling was pretty damn good, but it just depends on if he can get that takedown or not. Lucas, do you think you could beat a washed Tony? No. I'm not delusional. The version of Tony Ferguson that we have today, the most washed version, even the version of Tony Ferguson the day after he completed Hell Week with David Goggins would beat me up in a fight badly. Come on, man. Tony Ferguson would fuck me up in a fight. I don't have the fundamentals like Tony does in the grappling. And even in the striking, dude, he still has a freakishly long reach, even though he's not good at the elite level. Like, imagine how I would get done at the elite level, bro. Imagine how easy people would knock me out at the elite level. Tony's going 15 minutes or 14 minutes and 30 seconds with Bobby Green. So, of course, he would beat my ass. Lucas not being cocky? I mean, come on, man. Tony, I don't care how washed. Dude, BJ Penn would beat my ass. BJ Penn would literally destroy me in a fight right now. Is this a top 15 ranking fight? It might be a battle to get into the rankings. It might be a battle to get into the rankings, but I don't think Matthews is ranked. Matthews is coming over a win over what? Fowler or something like that? I forget what card that was on. I think that was the Salt Lake City card, actually. I think it was the Salt Lake City card. But yeah, Jake Matthews has had a lot of disappointing performances throughout his career. BJ got KO'd by a civilian. Yeah, but who is the civilian though? And how drunk was he? Right? Like if this guy was one drink away from not being able to walk, then of course you could maybe take a drunk, washed up BJ Penn that would not take one shot. But if BJ Penn is not obliterated, then he'd probably beat me up. Anyone else that hates the Weasel? I don't know. Listen, I just think that the Weasel said that the middleweight division was worse than light heavyweight and heavyweight. He was out here saying the heavyweight division was more stacked than middleweight. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? I hate those takes from the Weasel, bro. He was saying, oh, we got Hamzat, Jack Hermanson, Jared Cannonier. Oh, and then there's we can't forget about Marty Usman. It's like, what about Kopylov? What about Bo Nickel? What about Ikram Aleskadov? Like he leaves so many guys out that are on the come up. Everyone knows that the unranked middleweights are ridiculous. They're off the charts. Shara Bullet. I know people aren't really going to hype up Shara Bullet, but Joe Pyfer, right? Joe Pyfer's in the mix. He didn't mention any of these guys. Michel Pereira. Michel Pereira is another guy, right? And he said that the freaking heavyweight and light heavyweight division was better than middleweight. Come on, that's a horrible take. I mean, that's not a good enough reason to not like the Weasel, but the Weasel, I just don't really watch him that much anymore. I used to watch the Weasel all the time. Don't really watch him these days that much. The only videos I'll watch are like the long podcasts that he does. I don't really watch his news announcements or every once in a while. Every once in a while, check him out. Weasel said Christian Leroy Duncan. No way did he say Christian Leroy Duncan was plotty. Wait, did the Weasel actually give his breakdowns for this card? No. I don't believe that he said Christian Leroy Duncan is plotty. Leroy Duncan is like the epitome of flash. Let's see. No, he didn't do it. Damn. His Bellator video didn't do so hot. I can't believe people were saying Amosov was like one of the best welterweights on the planet. Gets beat by an old man that just happens to go to the gym every once in a while in Florida at Kill Cliff FC. He wobbled Usman, guys. Yeah. Take a Yair body kick or a Gagey jab on the nose. Ooh, that's a good one. I'd rather like Gagey throwing a jab at full force on my nose. I might get my nose broke, bro. If it's square on my nose, I'll probably get my nose broke. So I'll say I'd rather take a Yair body kick. Yair body kick would fuck me up, but I'd rather take that than a. I mean, actually, I don't know, man. I don't think Yair would break my ribs with a kick. I'd say I'd rather get hit by Gagey. Well, I'm muted. Refresh the stream. Refresh the stream. I'm not muted, guys. Refresh the stream. Fuck, bro. What is going on with this, man? Yeah, refresh. Just refresh, guys. Oh, yeah, I'm good. You guys are bullshitting. I'm good. All right, guys. Michael Morales, Jake Matthews up next. Just refresh. They're trolling. Wait, you're actually muted now? Ha ha ha! I'm trolling you, homie. Trolling you, bruh. Now you're actually muted. I know I always do that shit. That's the easiest way to get these fuckers to stop saying I'm muted, but I'm not. Here comes Michael, the sauce god, Morales on all the sauce. Oh, what the hell? What? What the heck? What the heck just happened? My screen just went black and then it turned back on. Morales deserves rank, guys. I mean, not really. Going to a decision over Max Griffin doesn't really warrant you to be like, oh, he has to be ranked. Let's see how we can do. Jake the Muslim Matthews. Yeah, he did convert. Jake Matthews has always been disappointing, honestly. But this is a tougher test than I mean, Matthews is very inconsistent, but it's a step up in competition for sure. Let's see if Morales can go out there and impose his will, pick up where he left off. Jake Matthews stalking him down. Jake Matthews stalking him down. There's a nice leg kick for Morales. There's a nice check hook from Morales. Oh, nice low kick from Morales. Oh, Superman punch just misses. Matthews backing him up, backing him up. Oh, overhand misses for Matthews. Morales is looking big in there, but not as big as he normally is. Oh, there's a couple of shots from Morales on the guard of Matthews. Misses. I have a feeling this is going to be a stinker, guys. Well, there's a nice 1-2 for Morales. Just misses. Good body shot from Matthews. A good leg kick from Morales. Good jab from Morales. Lands flush on Jake Matthews. 3 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock. There's a nice low kick. Catches Matthews coming in, and a good jab lands through the guard of Morales. Morales is running away with this round so far. There's a good body kick from Jake Matthews. Another low kick from Morales. Oh, there's a good shot from Matthews. Lands a right hand. Oh, and he stumbles Matthews back. There's a good jab from Morales. Just misses, though. 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. Oh, big shot from Morales, and he's out. I'm just kidding. There's a nice low kick from Matthews. Another low kick from Morales. Izzy would KO him, let's be real. I mean, totally wrong division. I don't know, man. Maybe Morales could give Izzy a run for his money. Oh, there's a nice low kick from Matthews. 2 minutes, 11 seconds. There's a nice body kick from Matthews. Morales just misses the right hand behind a couple of jabs. Jab misses. Oh, nice kick to intercepts Matthews. Forward pressure. Yeah, Morales' low kicks are money right now. Minute and 45 seconds on the clock, guys. 1 minute, 44 seconds on the clock. 142, 141. Morales has a good jab. Oh, there's a right hand that gets through. Damn, Morales really... Oh, flying knee just misses, though. Imagine if he landed that. But yeah, Morales is definitely good. He's looking better. He's looking a lot better this time than he did in his last fight. Still looks a little green, but his hands are getting better. His hands are getting crisper. There's a nice jab. Morales' jab is looking good. Good right hand to the body. Honestly, Morales reminds me of a young Marty Lewis. Just playing around, guys. But his jab is kind of Marty Lewis like in a way. If you know what I mean. Good round. Yeah, good round for Morales. Damn, Matthews is just oh, there's a big shot landing from Morales. A couple of them landed a right hand and a lead hook flush on the jaw of Morales, and Morales just ate it like a tic tac. There's a flying knee from Morales. I think Morales now knows that he doesn't have to worry about the power coming back in his direction, and so he's going to be more aggressive. 19 seconds on the clock. Don't insult Morales like that. Oh, man, insult. That's about the highest compliment he could get. Good body kick from Morales. Oh, he looks like he hurt his leg. Maybe not. Oh, Morales, man, he's very wild. He leaves himself open with these flashy techniques. He will only get better. Yeah, he will only get better. He will only get better. Yeah. I think Morales is winning this fight. Damn. Matthews has been in the UFC forever at this point, and he's just never actually gotten that much better, man. His best performance ever was against Fialho, but shit, dude. Now he's getting beat up by a freaking rookie. Michael Morales, he's not a rookie, but I mean, how old is he? Like 24 or some shit? How old is Michael Morales? Maybe edged it, but very close. I mean, yeah. He did get landed on flush a few times, but he ate it. Michael Morales. 24, yeah. Fire John isn't scared of shit. Fire John isn't scared of shit. What do you mean? Morales? Yeah, Morales got that. Lucas, do you know? No, I don't. Diego Lopez is higher all time than Volk. No, he is not, champ. Not when you lose to Evloev. Sorry. No matter how many wins Diego gets, he would have always lost to Evloev. Volk doesn't lose to people like Evloev. Here we go. Low kick for Morales. Low kick for Morales again. All I have to say is this is probably one of the worst cards in UFC history, guys. I mean, this card's been horrible. I don't know. What's Morales doing now? He's trying to do that Yoel Romero type of shit. Knee stomp for Morales. I think Matthews is probably a little bit better, honestly, but it's just that Morales has like the crazy reach. Oh, he's got Matthews hurt. He's got Matthews hurt. Matthews is shaking his head. Damn. Matthews can't even graze this guy's chin right now. Morales has such a big head. Yeah, he does have a big head. Guys like Ian Gary are bullshit, get pushed into the rankings, but Morales can't get a top 15 guy is ridiculous. I mean, Morales has not had performances like Ian Gary, to be honest. And Ian Gary just fought Neil Magny. Ian Gary's had more fights in the UFC, so I don't think that it's the same thing, man. It's not like Neil Magny's so highly ranked. After this, he will get a ranked opponent. Plus, I'm gonna be honest, dude. Ian Gary looks better than Michael Morales. I mean, Morales looks good, but he looks good for how young he is. Yo, honestly, this is just telling me why Morales is getting bumped up. Because let's be honest, man, this guy's Apex fights have been a little bit stinky. He's very dangerous, but still a little bit of a stinky fight. Couple of good shots from Jake Matthews, just misses though. Thoughts on Ian Gary's wife? I mean, manipulative. Ian Gary's wife is the top, and okay. You call this fight stinky, but praise Holland versus JDM. Holland versus JDM was actually high output, and both guys were landing on each other. This fight is like both guys are landing on the guard left and right and aren't throwing as much as Holland and JDM. There's a big difference, man. Also, like Morales and Matthews, trust me, like they're just not as entertaining to watch. You could say all you want about Michael Morales being hyped up as a prospect. He's not that interesting to watch. He's like Mr. Low Output, bro. Not Mr. Low Output, but come on, man. Like, you're really going to sit here and praise this fight? This fight sucks. This has been one of the worst cards in history, man. Holy crap. Oh, wow. Morales landed a grazing hook off the side of Matthews' head. Wow. So great. Who's your favorite prospect? My favorite prospect. I mean, it's kind of hard to call Benoit Saint Denis a prospect anymore, but he would have been my favorite prospect. Oh, wow. Morales lands punches on the guard of Jake Matthews. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Landed on the guard again. This is why this fight's worse than JDM versus Holland. At least they were landing on each other. At least they were landing body kicks and actual punches in other places but the guard, right? So they should have put O'Malley versus Vera as a co-main and Makhachev versus Charles main event. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I don't know what the holdup is with Makhachev. Like, I know he just fought. I totally understand it, but the reason why it's stressful with Makhachev is we know that he'll always take summers off because that's Ramadan, and he'll take the spring off because it's Ramadan. But yeah, it's like if he doesn't fight in early 2024, we're not going to see him until Abu Dhabi. That's what sucks about Makhachev. Put me in there with Morales to show you how to get around the reach. Straight up, man. Put a seasoned vet with a jab on him. He shows you how to get around the reach. Straight up. For real. 2-0 Morales. 2-0 Morales, yeah. But hey, you know what? Like every now and then these prospects have to slow things down and just get rounds under their belt. Like this is good for him. This is good experience for him. Good experience for him. But Jake Matthews, I think it's time to cut Jake Matthews from the UFC if he loses this fight. And I know that sounds rough, but come on, man. At this point, come on, like the experiment is done. The Jake Matthews experiment, the Jake Matthews show has come to a close. He had a great performance against Fialho. He's had a good win in his last fight, but he's beating nobodies and he's losing to people that are, he's losing to guys that aren't even that great. Losing to like a young green Michael Morales after Jake Matthews has been in the UFC for like almost 10 years now. Imagine Aliskerov beating Hamzat to take away his hype. Oh, man, if he gets into the second round, he probably wins. Morales has a great chin. Yeah, he does have a good chin. Morales does have a good chin. Listen, guys, Morales is good. He's a good fighter. He's still good. He's only 24. I don't expect him to look like, a world beater, but he certainly isn't dynamite to watch. He certainly isn't dynamite to watch. And it's okay to have a couple of stinkers in the beginning of your career, right? Ian Gary's had a couple stinkers. But not even, though. Not even, though. It's just that Morales' last fight against Max Griffin was even better than this. This is one of the worst cards I've ever seen, guys. Morales is definitely a Yoel fan with all these dramatic movements in which he doesn't capitalize on. Hamzat might get subbed. The triangle is a guaranteed hit. Maybe. I don't know, guys. This fight's horrible. Oh, wow. Another low kick for Morales. It's not like we've seen 100 of those. Amazing how, 20 low kicks from Pereira and you're toast, but 1,000 low kicks from Michael Morales and you're just getting started. I would think that this guy would have a little bit more sting on those low kicks. More. Oh, wow. A punch on the hand. Michael Morales has to worry now. He just got hit on the hand again. Oh, wow. There's another one. There's another low kick with nothing on it. There's another punch on the guard. Bro, Matthews has to understand, like, dude, you're going to get cut from the UFC if you're fighting like this. You got to go for it at some point. I mean, at least he is going for it every once in a while, but Morales is making this boring. How did you not finish that shit? I don't know, man. He's not able to do any real damage to the leg of Matthews. He's not able to change the fight with it. That's how you determine how good someone's kicks are. If you can actually change the course of a fight. The kicks really haven't done that much. Thoughts on Hamzat versus Paul Craig? I mean, I think Hamzat beats him, but I think that's just by KO in the first round. Paul Craig could beat him too. Like if Hamzat, I mean, to be honest, is Hamzat in any danger on the feet? I think Hamzat probably beats Paul Craig, to be honest. You never know, though. He could get tired, shoot a takedown, and Paul Craig could sub him. This is an underrated good fight. This is not a good fight. This fight's terrible. Why didn't you have the same energy for Holland? Because Holland and JDM were actually landing shots on each other at a high clip. They weren't landing punishing blows, but Holland was throwing a lot of volume. JDM was landing good four-piece combinations when he would get in and actually land like solid shots. These guys are landing on their hands. They're punching each other's arms and hands. I mean, this fight is absolute garbage. Wow. Another 4 punches landing on the guard for Jake Matthews. And, oh, God forbid they actually punch each other in the head, right? But still, there's a little pepper jab. Michael Morales is boring as fuck. I'm going to just be honest about it. Jake Matthews is actually going for it. This card is better than 295? No, man. Not at all. Feels like a sparring match. It's not a sparring match, bro. It's just these guys, they have really nice high guards, but this fight sucks. Oh, man. This fight is like 5D chess. Not going to lie, you casuals can't comprehend how beautiful this fight is. Yeah, totally. This is just a hardcore fan's dream to see these guys land punches on each other's arms and hands for 3 rounds. Yeah, Michael Morales is boring as hell, dude. Fuck. Sorry, but I'm not going to hype him up after that. Jilton Almeida versus Derek Lewis was better than that, and you guys know it. Jilton Almeida and Derek Lewis was better than that, and that was 5 rounds. If you had to ask me, what do you want to watch, Jilton Almeida versus Lewis back or Morales versus Matthews back, I'm going to say Jilton and Lewis. I hope that Jake Matthews gets cut. Honestly, I don't want to see him fight again. I mean, listen, Jake Matthews isn't even that boring overall. It's just that this was the last straw. If you're losing a little boring decision to Michael Morales, like just hang up the gloves, man. You're never going to get far in the UFC at that point. Fight of the year. Fuck, dude. I'm like fighting the urge to fall asleep right now, guys. That was disgusting. Meaty hooks Morales. He wasn't even throwing meaty hooks. Morales was throwing safe little lean back hooks when Jake Matthews would exit the pocket to not put himself in danger with his eyes closed. Oh, fuck off. Don't act like you won the title when you beat Jake Matthews with the most boring fight you've ever seen. I mean, listen, Morales is 24. He's doing his thing, but that fight absolutely sucked, man. Damn it. Oh my gosh, guys, people say worst card ever, but this actually is a horrible card. This is one of the worst cards I've ever seen. It's so bad. Jesus, man. Despite the finishes, every single finish outside of Hooper and Levitt, Hooper and Levitt's the only good fight. Outside of that, every single finish has been like deep into a boring fight, like deep into a boring 3-rounder. Amanda Ribas gets it done. Medic versus, I forget the name of the guy he's fought already. Odelbon, whatever the hell his name is, bro. That was boring as hell before the finish too. Morales would KO Marty Lewis. Marty Lewis takes shits bigger than Michael Morales, bro. Marty Lewis would have chinned Morales in the first exchange. Angry until the end, dude. The future right there, guys. The future. Oh, man. That's not a future I want to be a part of with Michael Morales at the top of the sport. Listen, Michael Morales is good, but come on. He's so boring, man. He's so boring. He's not even like Yoel, bro. He's trying to be like Yoel out there with these random movements. But who knows? Maybe he'll get better with time and actually just become more confident. Like he's still finding his feet in the octagon, right? So fair enough. It's okay to have a couple stinkers early on in your career. Makhachev had a bunch of stinkers early on in his career. All you do is complain when a bunch of people like someone you don't? No. Give me an example. Says the Merab fan. I'm not even a big Merab fan. I'm not a big Merab fan. And I'm sorry, man. I'd rather watch Merab Piotr Yan than Morales versus fucking... Dude, Merab versus Piotr Yan was more entertaining than this, okay? It was high output. It was high pace. This absolutely sucked. Straight up. I don't give a fuck if it was striking. It absolutely sucked. They were landing punches on each other's guards and hands and throwing once every 20 seconds with the same exact attacks every single time. Sucked, man. No attempts to finish the fight. Horrible. Marty Lewis literally never had a stinker in his entire life. Facts. Lucas, who do you have on the main event? I'm going with Brendan Allen. 296, Pantoja Royval, Shafkat, Stephen Thompson, Tony Ferguson. Honestly, guys, I'm going to be honest about it. The fight night before UFC 296 is better than UFC 296. Do you guys agree or no? The fight night, Bobby Green, Dan Hooker, Font, Figueiredo. I think it's better. The fight night before is better than this. It is. Shafkat versus Stephen Thompson isn't interesting at all. Why do I give a fuck about Shafkat, Stephen Thompson? It's a total mismatch. And even if Stephen Thompson does well, which he probably will, it'll be like, oh, Stephen Thompson lands a couple of pit-pat shots that have no effect on Shafkat whatsoever. And Shafkat takes him down, but just can't seem to submit him because Stephen Thompson's submission defense. Let's look. UFC 296. Dariush versus Saryukian. Sean Brady, Kelvin Gastelum is more interesting than Tony Ferguson and Paddy Pimblett. I don't give a fuck about Tony Ferguson and Paddy Pimblett. For real, though. You think I'm going to lose any sleep from not seeing that? I don't think Tony should ever fight again. You think I care about Paddy Pimblett? Paddy Pimblett's somewhat interesting, but he's fighting Tony. So it's like, oh, wow, Paddy wins. We're all going to be upset. Paddy loses. We're going to be happy. Fair enough. But Pimblett and Tony is not a fun fight. That's probably going to be a shit fight. Paddy's just going to be clinching him up against the fence, trying to take him down. Roundtree, Azamat Mirzakhanov. Sean Brady, Kelvin Gastelum. Font versus Davidson Figueiredo is better than freaking Vicente Luque and Ian Gary. Sorry, man, but Ian Gary, Vicente Luque is not interesting to me because Vicente Luque is just, I don't even think he's that good. I don't even think he's that good. He's so plotty. He moves around like a tortoise. Ian Gary's going to have a boring decision, 3-round decision over him, just beating him up at range. And then Colby versus Leon is going to be okay, but I think UFC 296 is overrated, guys. I'm going to just be honest about it. I think it's overrated. And I'm not that hyped for Shavkat versus Thompson. Shavkat versus someone like Bilal, or Shavkat versus, I know people are going to say, what do you mean Bilal? Stylistically, it'll be a better matchup. He'll force Bilal to fight. He'll force Bilal into a bad position. Bilal actually has good takedown defense, right? We could see how an elite fighter can mitigate the risk. We know Stephen Thompson's going to get taken down. We know Stephen Thompson's going to get held in the clinch. It's not going to be like some war on the feet, guys. I just think it's the worst matchup you can give Stephen Thompson for me to be hyped. Any of those guys in the top 5 that can grapple, I don't want to see Stephen Thompson fight them. He'll never be a champ, ever. So I'm not just going to delusionally sit here and say, well, this is his one chance to become a champion. He'll never win the belt. He'll never get a title shot. And Shavkat Rakhmonov, I'd rather see him go to war against Kamaru Usman, or I'd rather see him fight someone like Bilal Muhammad, or I don't know, who else is there? Gilbert Burns. Let's do Shavkat versus Burns. Leon, who's Leon? Leon Scott's just some boring-ass champion, man. Nah, I think Leon versus Colby is a good fight, but the fights on UFC 296 are overrated. The card before UFC 296, the fight night, is going to be better than UFC 296, in my opinion. How do you think Patchy Mix would fare in the UFC? I think Patchy Mix would probably be like a top 10 guy, but he would never make top 5. Like, I'm sorry, man. Fighting Cans in Bellator, like fighting Sergio Pettis wouldn't even make the top 12, top 15 in the UFC, and I fucking promise you that. So, yeah, it's like you're at the end of the day, you're really only as good as your competition, right? So, I don't think he would do that well. You're definitely going to become a male Karen. I'm just saying, I think 296 is overrated. People are acting like it's some amazing card, some gift from God. I think 295 is better. I think 295 was better. 296 is good. It's like a good card, but it's not great. It's what you're supposed to get. It's like a bare minimum. That's what a bare minimum pay-per-view should be. Straight up. It's just that they give us like an O'Malley versus Aljo, a fight card that sucks, like an Adesanya versus Strickland, and people they go crazy when they actually put decent fights on the main card underneath the in the main event. And what I'm saying is, all right, like this is what it's supposed to be, but it's not better than Yuri Pereira and Tom Aspinall and Pavlovich and Benoit Saint Denis, Matt Frivola. It's not better than that. And Diego Lopez. I'm much more hyped to see Benoit Saint Denis versus Matt Frivola than I'm going to be to see Shavkat versus Wonderboy. Here comes Paul Craig. The lead up to 296 is going to be fire with Covington. That's true. You know what? The press conference is going to be great. You know what? I think I am going to take a little bit of this back. You reminded me of the lead up. You reminded me of the press conference. That's what's going to make the card great. So I take it back. I think the card's going to be a lot more hype as we get close to it because there's going to be so much shit talk amongst all of them. Gary is going to be going at Covington. Gary's going to be going at Leon. Pimblett's going to be going at Gary. Tony's going to be going at Pimblett. Colby's going to be going at everyone. Leon's going to be getting into it with Wonderboy. Leon and Wonderboy have beef too. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. 296 will have good scraps. It will have good scraps. But it's not going to beat 295. I think on paper, when I'm just looking at the fights themselves, 295 is better. The main card of 295 shits on the main card of 296. Like Benoit Saint Denis, Matt Frivola. Okay, there's the WMMA fight. That doesn't do wonders, but still. I'm just as excited for the fight night when it comes to the fights themselves with Arman Tsarukyan and Beneil Dariush than I am for 296 because Tony and Pimblett is like a gimmick fight, total gimmick fight. And I say gimmick fight just because it's not like it's not an important fight. Patty's never going to be anything in the UFC. And Tony Ferguson, it's like he's probably going to lose. So then we have Shavkat versus Wonderboy. That's the least hype matchup you could possibly make for Shavkat Rakhmonov. I don't think Wonderboy is going to beat him. Not that Wonderboy can't have a good moment here and there in a fight with Shavkat on the feet, but he's not beating Shavkat. So it's like it looks like a mismatch. I'm not that hyped for it. It's not going to be a war. Shavkat's not going to just stand and bang with him. And then we have Khalil Roundtree, Azamat Mirzakhanov, Sean Brady, Kelvin Gastelum, Rob Font, Davidson Figueiredo, Dan Hooker, Bobby Green, Beneil Dariush, Arman Tsarukyan. Let's go to the prelims. Clay Guida, Joaquim Silva, Misha Tate, Julia Avila. Nah, all right, maybe this card isn't as good. But let's check 296's. 296, the prelims are actually better, so I take it back. But 296 is not that great, dude. Pantoja, Brandon Royval. Okay, what are you guys more hyped for? Pantoja versus Royval or Figueiredo versus Font? Be honest, okay? You're more hyped for Figueiredo versus Font, and you know it. All of you guys would agree with me, or at least 90% of you would agree with me. Pantoja versus Royval, that fight has already happened. That's why it's not that interesting. It's a flyweight fight that's happened before. It's just another rematch flyweight title fight. Those can only be so interesting. Font versus Figgy, are you kidding me? That's way better. 100% Font and Figgy is shits all over Royval and Pantoja. So all I'm saying is the main card is pretty damn even. Of course, I'm more hyped for Leon and Colby than Beneil and Arman, for sure. Figgy's just going to get starched by a jab. Yeah, fair. But Pantoja with his granite chin is just going to get a hold of Royval and sub him. So I don't even think that's that interesting either. The prelims of 296 is what makes it, though. You have Irene Aldana versus Irene Aldana just cut her from the sport. I don't know why I confused her with Dan Hardy, but Irene Aldana had the most sorry-ass performance I've ever seen in my entire life against Amanda Nunes. I had to turn off the fight. I had to stop it in the third round. Josh Emmett versus Giga Chikadze is a good fight. Cody Garbrandt, Brian Keller is a good fight. Fucking hell, Casey O'Neill and Ariana Lipsky. I don't give a fuck about that. Alonzo Menefield, Dustin Jacoby is a good fight. Martin Boudet is a 15-ranked heavyweight. Are you kidding me? How the hell did he get up there? Randy Brown, most boring fighter in UFC history, arguably, versus Muslim Salikov. That's an okay fight if Randy Brown wasn't in it. Randy Brown is just one of these guys that does not get called out enough for being boring. People talk about Randy Brown, hardcore fans, for example, they'll be like, man, Randy Brown's on the card. That's actually pretty good. Randy Brown. I'm like, this dude literally sucks every single time he fights. He has a horrible fight. Hardcore fans try to sound all slick with, oh, and Randy Brown's on the card too, right? When you're reading the card and you're trying to act like, that's actually a good one, right? A casual would read Tagir Ulanbekov and Cody Durden. A casual would say, Tagir Ulanbekov, Cody Durden, that shit sucks. Randy Brown sucks, right? Casual's going to say that. A hardcore edgy fan says, ooh, Tagir Ulanbekov, Cody Durden, which actually is a good fight. And then they'll say, oh, and Randy Brown, Muslim Salikov. Whereas a true hardcore fan says, Tagir Ulanbekov, Cody Durden, that's a good fight. Randy Brown, oh, fuck, Randy Brown's on the card. Damn it. Straight up, Randy Brown is so boring. His fights suck, man. Jesus Christ. So that just is not a good fight. It's like Magny. Anytime Magny's on the card, it sucks. No matter who he's fighting, it'll never be hype. Same thing for Randy Brown. Even when he lost to JDM, there was no fight. It was just pitter-pat shots until JDM tagged him and finished him. Paul Craig is so lame, probably. Oh, my God. Probably says grace before eating. I mean, I don't think there's anything lame about that. But, yeah. I think Paul Craig's pretty cool, man. This is a good fight. This is a good fight. I don't think it's going to be boring, guys. Paul Craig, dude, Paul Craig's going to go out there and rip his head off, man. You know, there are probably some casuals that like have kind of got the gist that hardcore fans like Paul Craig that have said tonight at some UFC get together to try to act like they know the sport that have said, I think Paul Craig's going to rip his head off, man. He's going to fucking punch this guy's face off. Right? knowing that not knowing that he's going to go out there and fucking do a roly poly on the ground to get Brendan Allen down. Oh my gosh, man. Oh yeah, Paul Craig's a bad man. He's a big scrapper. I think Allen gets it done, guys. I think Craig could definitely get the better of him on the ground, but I think Allen's gonna knock him out. But you know what? I'm not a fan of Brendan Allen. I like Paul Craig more. I'm not a fan of Brendan Allen. This guy is the saltiest, most butthurt guy in the history of the game. He still holds a grudge against Dricus du Plessis because du Plessis made a simple joke at their lunch about Brendan Allen's tattoo on his arm, which is like some kind of a date. It's like 6'4" something. And Dricus du Plessis said, "What, is that your record, mate?" To shit on him a little bit. And, Brendan Allen ever since hates Dricus du Plessis and calls him out in every interview like a little bitch. All right, guys, here we go. Let's see if one of the top 10 grapplers in the sport can get it done. But Allen's a good grappler, and he's the superior striker. Let's see if the light heavyweight skill prevails over middleweight once again. Light heavyweights have notoriously shut down middleweights. Brendan Allen is looking significantly smaller already. Paul Craig definitely looks to be the bigger guy. A lot leaner and taller, just bigger overall. But Brendan Allen's going to stalk him down. There's a 1-2. Lands for Brendan Allen. 4 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock. Good leg kick for Allen. Good knee stomp from Paul Craig. Man, Brendan Allen's looking sloppy as hell early on. Let's see if Paul Craig can show some kind of a new thing in his stand-up. Only a matter of time before Paul Craig goes for some kind of a takedown or grappling exchange. Good body shot from Brendan Allen. Right hand to the body. Oh, Paul Craig gets a hold of him. He's got his arm. Knee up the middle for Brendan Allen. Nice. Paul Craig has a hold of Brendan Allen. If this fight goes to the ground, he will have a clear advantage, in my opinion. Paul Craig's on him in the clinch. Paul Craig should pull guard in a crafty way. Way better than Slow Bones Jones. Craig is the top 5 slugger? Yeah. I can imagine a casual saying, I think he's going to throw him out the octagon, man. Oh, nice trip. Wow, Brendan Allen's in mount. He's in mount. He's trying to get the back. But Paul Craig's going to be chilling here. This is nothing for Paul Craig. This is nothing for Paul Craig. He's going for that Scottish guard. Paul Craig's going to be just fine, guys. He's isolating a leg of Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen's middleweight sloppiness is getting exposed here, guys. I'm telling you, man, that Brendan Allen middleweight slop is getting exposed. Craig sucks. I mean, this is just smooth sailing for Paul Craig. He's a crafty vet. Look, he's holding it down. Paul Craig's literally chilling right now. Look at how he's just not freaking out. He's not even breathing heavy. Brendan Allen's going for submission, not going to get it. Expending his energy. Paul Craig's just chilling. He's just waiting it out. He knows he can finish this fight at any second. All he needs is one moment. Middleweights can't grapple. Yeah, middleweights are notoriously, or I should say infamously bad when it comes to grappling. dude. This fight. He tapped? No, he didn't. A minute and 30 seconds on the clock, guys. Oh, he's got him in a submission. Oh, he doesn't have it. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. He's got a calf slicer. No way is he going to sub Allen. Allen's going for something too. Oh, there we go. Paul Craig. Allen's going for an ankle lock. Oh, now Paul Craig. Paul Craig's got a foot. Ah. And now they're up. Paul Craig is bad. He's not bad. Paul Craig gets thrown by Brendan Allen. I think Allen, guys, might lose this fight. He's not looking so composed. He's going for these big slams. Paul Craig's got his toes in the cage. Crafty move from Paul Craig. Okay. Good elbow from Brendan Allen. 30 seconds left. Oh, Paul Craig looking for a triangle. 20 seconds left in the round. 10-9 Allen. I don't know, man. I'm thinking 10-8 Paul Craig. Look, Paul Craig has him cut him open. He cut him open. Oh, good elbow from bottom for Paul Craig. I'm playing, guys. Yeah, Brendan Allen, 10-9. He's got Paul Craig cut. I mean, Brendan Allen's getting cocky, but he ain't winning this one. Brendan Allen is not going to get the better of Paul Craig on the ground, guys. You could say he already is, but I'm telling you, Paul Craig's weathering the storm. This is the typical Paul Craig performance. Not going the distance. It's not going to go the distance. You can't say Allen has this when he almost got subbed on the ground multiple times. We have no idea who has this yet. Good fight. I mean, it's okay. Craig is bleeding. Look at Paul just swiftly eating these shots on the ground. True craftsman. He is a true craftsman. Paul Craig is actually crafting his way to victory. I'm telling you, he's keeping composure. A lot of guys would freak out. A lot of guys would freak out right now. Paul Craig is humble. He knows that even though he's the big time grappler, he's willing to be the nail. Paul Craig is humble. A crafty veteran knows, you know what? If you're getting the better of me where I'm at my best, it's part of the game. It's part of the game. You're going to be the nail sometimes. Paul Craig is going to win this fight if it keeps going to the ground. I will tell you that. If it's in the stand-up, Brendan Allen will win. First round. Stand-up, Brendan Allen wins. Good jab from Brendan Allen. 4:55 on the clock. Oh, Paul Craig is rocked. He's rocked. And he goes to the ground, and Brendan Allen's on top of him. Paul Craig gets rocked. See, that's the big difference. It's like the striking is just night and day. Now Paul Craig is where he wants to be. He's slowing it down. He's slowing it down. Big elbows from Brendan Allen. But see how Paul Craig is digging his head into Brendan Allen's chest. He's trying to really mitigate the risk here and make it hard for Brendan Allen to have any leverage on these shots. That's a crafty veteran move. See how Paul Craig has Brendan Allen's hand over his mouth? He's making it hard for Brendan Allen to establish any elbows. Brendan Allen thinks he's stopping Paul Craig from breathing, but he knows what in reality is happening is he's just mitigating the risk from the elbows. Oh my gosh. Paul Craig might be more crafty than RDA. This is craft. Paul Craig is lulling Brendan Allen into a false sense of security, guys. See, he let Brendan Allen mount him. He let him mount him. And now Brendan Allen's going for a submission right now, but he's not going to get it because this is Paul Craig's world. You'll never submit Paul Craig. Oh, okay. Now Paul Craig is allowing himself to get submitted. Paul Craig is not going to tap. Oh, he's out of it. Told you. You're not getting the better of Paul Craig on the ground. 30 seconds left in the round. 10-9 Allen. He's got Paul Craig cut. Oh, good elbow from Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen, 10-9. He's got Paul Craig cut. Oh, Paul Craig is rocked. He's rocked. And he goes to the ground, and Brendan Allen's on top of him. Paul Craig gets rocked. See, Paul Craig has Brendan Allen's hand over his mouth. He's making it hard for Brendan Allen to have any leverage on these shots. That's a crafty veteran move. Man. But see, wow, Brendan Allen's elbowing him. Dude, I hate Brendan Allen, to be honest. I'm not a fan of Brendan Allen, guys. Worst card of all time? No, this is honestly not even that boring to watch. Brendan Allen's kind of beating Paul Craig up, but Paul Craig's being crafty. He's making it real tricky. He's being a tough out. A crafty veteran's a tough out. Don't forget. You're not just going to get Paul Craig out of there easily. And most guys by now would have quit. But Brendan Allen looks pretty good. What is Craig good at again? Yo, that's hilarious. What is he good at again? That's so funny, dude. I mean, this is his thing. Paul Craig is a top 10 grappler in the sport, buddy. Can you imagine? Can you imagine explaining this to a casual? Yeah, man. Paul Craig's one of the gnarliest grapplers in the game, man. Oh, now he's in Paul Craig's guard. Imagine trying to explain this to someone. Yeah, man. Yeah, he's one of the best. Oh my gosh, Craig is one of the. Paul Craig sucks. He sucks. This guy's so shit. Paul Craig is so ass cheeks on the ground, man. I'm sorry, bro. He's getting booted. He's getting booted out of my top 10 instantly. Getting fucking mogged by Brendan Shitty Man's Allen. You kidding me? Damn it, man. That cut is bad, yeah, but Craig's just getting started. Oh, it's a hefty elbow. There's a hefty elbow from Allen. Thank you for the $2.99 Australian dollars, J12. Allen looks like an on sale Sugar Sean. Yeah, he does. Like an on sale Sugar Sean before he tatted his face. I'm not a fan of Brendan Allen, man. I just don't like this guy's attitude, bro. He thinks he's so cool, man. Brendan Allen thinks he's ice cold. I'll tell you one thing, man. If I ever make it big, I'm out interviewing Brendan Allen. He'd never get it on my show. Just kidding, man. Freedom? Man, I hope Paul Craig just fucking yells freedom if he gets a finish. Let's pray that Paul Craig can get a finish to keep the legend of Paul Craig going. Oh, Brendan Allen's on his back. 2 seconds left in the round. That's a Paul Craig 10-8. That's a Paul Craig 10-8. Woohoo! This guy is so trash at what he's supposed to be best at. This is insane. Crafty Craig letting Allen think he can. Yes. Yes. He's letting Allen think that he can hang with him. He's got 3 rounds to work. This is when Paul Craig starts coming back. He knows that Allen's gassing himself out a little bit. See? Damn, dude. People were saying Paul Craig. There were people that were unironically saying Paul Craig's going to tear through the middleweight division. This is funny as hell. I mean, guys, come on, man. Paul Craig's... Man, this really goes to show that maybe middleweight is truly better these days, right? Brendan Allen. I did not expect Brendan Allen to beat Paul Craig's ass this badly on the ground, to be honest. I did not expect that at all. How good is Andre Muniz? I mean, how shit is he, really? This makes Andre Muniz look like an absolute joke. And you know what? Brendan Allen did submit Andre Muniz. But still, Andre Muniz, I can't believe Dan Hardy was hyping him up to be Izzy's biggest test. I'd like to see Andre Muniz get his hands on Izzy. I just want to see what I'd love to see him tangled up with Andre Muniz. All right, guys, here we go. Round 3. I think Andre Muniz is going to be the guy. I think Izzy struggles with Andre Muniz. Here we go. Craig's done. Oh! Big shot. Brendan Allen. He's on a mounted guillotine. But Paul Craig's just getting started. Oh, no. Paul Craig's where he wants to be. He's in his guard now. He's smiling. Paul Craig's smiling now. He knows he's got Allen good now. Oh, there's the submission. It's over. It's over. That's tight. That's tight. That's tight. Paul Craig is just, he's tapping, but he knows. Paul Craig just letting him, fuck. I don't even have an excuse. Paul Craig just getting started, man. He's just letting Allen take a break right now. They're going to get a rematch. Crafty veteran move. Crafty veteran move from Paul Craig. He knows he'll get him in the rematch. He's given Brendan Allen a false sense of security because he knows Brendan Allen's going to be a champ. He knows Allen's going to be a champ. He's given him a false sense of security to think that he'll beat him easily in the rematch, and Paul Craig's going to destroy him. Crafty move by Craig, tapping instead of going out cold. Yeah, pretty much. A crafty vet never goes out cold because it's an embarrassing look. It's not a good look to go out cold. Wow. Brendan Allen just beat the fuck out of Paul Craig. I mean, Paul Craig, oh my gosh, man. He's done. He's out of my top 10 grapplers. Not even close. If you're getting mogged by Brendan Allen out there, no. Sorry, man. You're out of my top 10. You're not even top 20. I do think that it was a crafty performance, though. I do think technically, if you want to get real about the scoring, Paul Craig was up on the scorecards. I personally had him winning the first round by 10-9 and the second round via 10-8. But Brendan Allen's able to get it done with the submission. Even though Brendan Allen was landing good shots, Paul Craig had him right where he wanted him. He had him right where he wanted him, guys. These guys are both terrible. Come on. You can't say Brendan Allen's terrible. Every single moment they were on the feet in the second and third, he was rocking Paul Craig. You can't say he's terrible. Brendan Allen's legit. That's the dark horse of the middleweight division, right? I think you guys would agree. That is the dark horse of the middleweight division right now. He's very well-rounded. Come on, that fight wasn't that bad, man. That fight was not that bad. The card sucked. The card was horrible, but that fight was not that bad. I mean, that was a decent fight. How did this guy beat Jamal Magomed? I don't know, man. I mean, listen, they're not as good as Brendan Allen on the ground. That's also part of it. I cannot believe I fucking considered this guy a top 10 grappler in the sport. Paul Craig literally sucks, man. That's a good fight. I mean, it's a good fight. It was a good fight. Who did you pick? I picked Brendan Allen, but I didn't make an official pick. I was thinking that Brendan Allen's just going to be much better on the feet. And that was I did not think Brendan Allen was going to whoop Paul Craig on the ground like that. To be honest, I was thinking that Paul Craig would have got the better of Brendan Allen, but I did not see that. That's crazy. Good win for Brendan Allen. Paul Craig, honestly, dude, it might be time for him to retire. If you're getting your ass kicked by Brendan Allen, then it's time to hang it up, honestly. That was one of the worst performances I've ever seen. Another L take. I thought Brendan Allen would have won this fight. Craig smokes everyone else at 185. Allen is just a nightmare matchup. That is a good point. Allen is just a nightmare matchup. And I think, again, Brendan Allen, even though he lost the first 2 rounds, he did get the better of Paul Craig ultimately. So it's like, dude, he was winning the fight. Nah, I'm playing. There's Jamal Hill. All right, let's see if Brendan Allen can redeem himself on the mic because he's really one of my least favorite fighters. Oh, he's got Pfeiffer and Jamal. Brendan Allen's got the most bitter team around him. Bitter Allen, bitter Pfeiffer, and bitter Jamal Hill. That's the saltiest team you could ever imagine. Every single one of those guys is Mr. Salty. Mr. Grudge. Cum shot. What the heck is this? Oh my gosh. Never mind, guys. Amazing performance, he was about to say. L stoppage. Craig next was obliterating Allen's arm. I know. Thank you for the $2.99 Australian dollars, J12. Where's this confidence coming from? Brendan Allen's always been a loudmouth. What are you talking about? Brendan Allen's really good. He's really good. Very good. He is a problem. But Brendan Allen is also cringy, in my opinion. I don't really like him that much. Jamal looking fat, of course, always. Allen does have 100 times the charisma of O'Malley. No, Allen has much more charisma than O'Malley. He's way cooler than O'Malley. Stop anti-glazing. I just don't like this guy has an attitude. He's so sensitive. I mean, just think about what he said about Dricus du Plessis. Dricus du Plessis made a joke once, and he's never let it go. Bro, he has Jamal Hill. He has Angry Hill and Angry Joe Pyfer in his corner. If that's not the saltiest team of all time, I don't know what is. Look how pissed off Jamal Hill and Joe Pyfer look. Bro, I'm telling you, Pyfer, Jamal, and Brendan Allen, the salty crew. Don't make a joke around any of those guys. He has the GOAT corner. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty good corner. It doesn't really mix. Like, Jamal Hill doesn't even train with Pyfer. And does Pyfer even train with Allen? I mean, maybe they become boys at the Apex, but I'm pretty sure Allen trains at Killcliff FC. Pyfer trains in Philadelphia, and Jamal Hill trains in what, Michigan? That doesn't make sense. Hill sends Alex to the Shadow Realm. Hill does have a good chance, for sure. Salty Brigade, yeah. Pyfer, hands in his pocket. Yeah, pissed off Joe Pyfer. To be honest, I didn't think of Joe Pyfer as an angry guy until that Mac Life interview he did before his last fight. What did Pyfer do? He didn't do anything. He's just unbelievably angry. He was so pissed in his Mac Life interview before his fight with Abdul Razak Al Hassan for reasons, but he had like a huge chip on his shoulder, and he just carries himself with a chip on his shoulder. And same with Jamal Hill, and same with Brendan Allen, bro. Brendan Allen always has a chip on his shoulder too, which is fine. It's good for fighting for sure, but yeah, they all have an attitude, man. Allen's the real deal. I don't know, man. All I'm saying is fucking none of those guys would even think to walk in a room with me if they had that kind of attitude. They'd lighten up real quick. They're in a room with me. These guys are going to lighten up real quick. No Debbie Downers around me, man. Hey, lighten up, sport. How does Allen do against the top 5? Allen, let's look at the top 5. Let's look at the top 5. Let's see. UFC middleweight ranking. All right, so let's check it out. Middleweight. He loses to du Plessis. Whitaker. That's interesting. I think he loses to Whitaker. I think Whitaker would stuff the takedowns and probably beat him up on the feet. But that's interesting. Cannonier, I don't know. I think he would beat Cannonier up on the ground. Would he take him down? Cannonier doesn't have the Whitaker takedown defense. It's a close fight. Vettori, oh yeah, Brendan Allen beats Vettori. He beats Vettori, for sure. So I'd say he beats Vettori. He loses to Whitaker. Cannonier fight is competitive. I just don't know if he takes Cannonier down because he's not outstriking him. And I would say, and he has good cardio. His cardio looked great in that fight. He definitely doesn't beat Dricus du Plessis. Oh, Izzy? Wait a second. Brendan Allen might be able to beat Izzy. Is that crazy? Like, when's the last time Izzy's faced anyone with a submission game? Whitaker doesn't have one. Vettori doesn't have one. Brendan Allen's very dangerous on the ground. If he did that to Paul Craig, what would he do to Izzy? Getting to Izzy is tough. Yo, I'm being real. That's a tough fight for Izzy. For real. That's a tough fight for Izzy. Just the air from one of your feints, Sleeps Hill. Listen, man, these guys would lighten up if they're around me. They'd be all cheesy smiles. He's washed. I'm not ready to say Whitaker's washed yet until he has another performance like that. If he gets slept again or if he gets made to look like a fool again, I'll consider it. Anthony Smith. Looking like a Christmas tree. Man, dude, I got to go shopping for Anthony Smith recently because I really need to light up a Christmas tree, guys. I'm going to chop one down at the local Christmas tree farm. Just the air. Thank you for the $2.99 Australian dollars, my brother. Derek to Cannonier down. Yeah, Derek took him down and almost subbed him. Derek Brunson. Anthony Smith looking pretty sharp. Let's see if Anthony says anything. Nah, he's not going to say anything about himself. Mind his Peterson cues. Smith and Joe Ben. Dude, Anthony Smith thinks he's going to end his career like Bisbing and Jamal Hill, like one of these guys that wins the belt. He thinks he's going to end as a UFC legend. They're just setting him up to be the next Alan Joe Ben. Alan Joe Ben. Dude, fuck. I feel bad for Anthony Smith, bro. I really do. Smith imposing his will on the mic. Facts, bro. He isn't. Smith actually knows how to impose his will, dude. Straight up. I'll give that to him. In every aspect of life. He literally imposed his will on John Jones in the build-up to that fight. Nah, dude, I don't think I've ever been more uncomfortable than seeing Anthony Smith on Fight Week versus John Jones. You had to be there to understand it, but John Jones was absolutely mogging Anthony Smith in every single realm of life that week. Every single time someone were to look in Anthony Smith's direction, they made sure to look away as fast as possible because they knew that he was going to get destroyed. Damn, that was an awkward fight week. Jones really turned up the mental warfare to the highest degree for that one. He was trying to be confident. John hoed him. Yeah, man. Smith was fucking talking himself. He's talking himself into that one. Like, he's just a man. I'm gonna beat this. He doesn't do anything that special. John's just a man. And John was saying, I'm gonna give him my full respect. I'm training as hard as I can for you, Anthony. I don't know. That's just a fucking scary thing to hear when you're Anthony Smith. John Jones saying he's gonna give you his full attention. He's also being patronizing and he's being passive aggressive too. He's the man. John isn't a man. He's the man. Okay, fair enough. Yo, that was one of the best. That was one of the best fight weeks. Smith, Jones. I think Askren and Lawler was on it too. And I think that was Woodley and Usman, right? Wasn't Woodley Usman 235? Yeah. That was a great card. Who else? Wait, I think Jan Blachowicz was on there. UFC 235. Smith, Jones, Woodley, Lawler, Askren. Who else was on it? Tisha Torres, Zhang Wei Li, Cody Garbrandt, Pedro Munoz. Cody Garbrandt, Pedro Munoz was on there. Jeremy Stevens, Zabit was on there. Yep, that was a good fight too. Diego Sanchez, Mickey Gall. Yeah, that was a good card. That was a real good card. Crafty move by Craig, making his next opponent think he sucks. That actually is a very crafty move. That's the long game. These veterans, they're okay with loss. They're totally okay with loss. They're willing to take their show money to ensure that they get that win money the next time. He just increased his chance of winning his next fight tenfold because his next opponent's going to underestimate him. Great win from Paul Craig. Honestly, a really good win from Paul Craig, now that I think about it, because Brendan Allen technically got the submission, but Paul Craig really won in the long run. Crafty grappling move, letting Brendan Allen elbow your face open, slice your face open with elbows, and absolutely humiliate you on the ground. Totally mog you and mop the floor with you in every single realm of the place in which you're supposed to be best at, just so that you can come back and dominate your next one. I truly don't understand how anybody could hate John. I like John when it's just him being, in the fight game. I actually think Jones is entertaining on the mic, bro. People say Jones is boring in his post-fight interviews and whatnot. I actually think Jones is always interesting to listen to, but it's the shit that he's done outside the octagon. It's very obvious. Allen won the battle. Craig has already won the war. Exactly. Paul Craig did his thing, guys. I truly don't understand how anybody can hate Gaethje. It's so weird. I'll watch the interviews he did in 2021 when he was saying, oh man, I hope that guy would burn, bro. Gaethje was saying he wanted to see people burn, which is pretty OD. Let's see what Anthony Smith says. Honestly, Anthony Smith is looking like an absolute Christmas tree right now. Yo, I can't be the only one that thinks Alan Joban reminds me of A-Rod. Any of you guys watch baseball? Back in the day, Alan Joban is literally MMA's Alex Rodriguez. He speaks just like him. He has the exact same voice, same mannerisms, kind of looks like him. Literally Alex Rodriguez 2.0. Craig should try his hand at welterweight. Yeah, my audio's out of sync. I know. Maybe Craig should move down to lightweight. I think, honestly, Paul Craig could probably beat Makhachev at lightweight. Certified Reddit genius. That wasn't necessary. Who would you pick in an MMA fight, Jilton Almeida or Gordon Ryan? In an MMA fight, Jilton Almeida or Gordon Ryan? I would say Jilton Almeida would probably... Ooh. I'd say Jilton Almeida would outstrike Gordon Ryan and knock him out. I'm trusting Jilton Almeida. Like, I know we haven't seen him strike a lot, but yeah. Trust me, dude. I think Jilton would knock him out. Like, Jilton still is fast, you know? Thank you for the $2, Brady Thomas. That A-Rod comparison deserves my $2. That's amazing. I'm telling you, bro. Every single time I've seen Alan Joban, I think Alex Rodriguez. The same mannerisms, same voice, same look, basically. He's the same person. I mean, they look a little bit different, but yeah. Same style of suits that they wear these days. Yeah, it's like uncanny, bro. I wonder if he's an A-Rod fan, bro, because like he has the same fucking shtick. John the Rake. Didn't Oliveira just pull out of the fight because of a paper cut, then tapped Islam like 18 times? He's also tapped the strikes before, low bro. Keep Gagey name out your mouth before I see red. Who said that? Who said something about Oliveira? Beating Gagey is to get to the ground. If it gets to the ground. Yeah, I would pick Jilton Almeida to beat Charles. Oh, not Charles. Gordon Ryan. My bad. Could Craig make featherweight? He would butcher Volkanovski. I mean, he would probably not survive a weight cut down to featherweight. Paul Craig is not even a top 20 grappler. Honestly, at this point, I agree with you. Brendan Allen, I think, is a top 20 grappler in the sport right now. Not Paul Craig. That was such a god-awful performance that I'm literally booting him out of my top 10. Horrible performance from Paul Craig. Straight up. Boring-ass performance. I kind of want to make a video recapping this card and talking about how shitty it was. But I don't know if anyone would care. I don't know, guys. Should I do a recap video? I kind of want to just rant about this Michael Morales, Jake Matthews fight a little bit. I want to talk about how Brendan Allen could somehow, some way beat Adesanya. All right. What do you guys think? Adesanya or Brendan Allen? Rant about Craig? Yeah, I might do it. I was about to say Craig versus Izzy. Izzy. Answer honestly, because I honestly think Brendan Allen could beat him, but I could totally understand some people thinking Adesanya would destroy him. What do you guys think? Oh, Anthony Smith speaking. I want to see if Anthony Smith says something that's very Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith bringing up the physical superiorities. Anthony Smith knows a thing or two about being the lesser guy. Just kidding. Allen, wow. 57% of people think Brendan Allen beats Izzy. He could take him down and destroy him on the ground. Man, you know what? I can't be the only one that feels bad. I can't be the only one. Oh, wait, hold on. Do you think the UFC pays its employees like Rogan and DC to post on their social media about some shitty fight night card? Yes. Rogan posting about the last Holly Holm card saying he watched it. Yes, of course. Of course, Dana White sends a text and says, hey, Rogan, you know what to do. Pop it on there. Pop it on there, buddy. 100%. 100%, dude. Without a doubt, bro. Yes. Did he post anything about this fight night? If he posted about this fight night, then you already know that's true. Be real, Craig is not even a top 12. Oh, he's not. Izzy has a good takedown defense. He does. That's why he could beat Brendan Allen. Izzy's takedown defense is good. Brendan Allen is a middleweight at the end of the day. But hey, Sean Strickland beat him in the middleweight division. It's getting better. And Allen isn't even in his prime right now. Allen versus Kopylov would be a perfect fight. I'd love to see it, but you already know they're going to make Kopylov fight like 10 other freaking nobodies before he ever gets a chance of being ranked. That's the issue with Kopylov, and I should have included him in my favorite fighters video. But the issue with him is that he's older. He's like 33 or 32, and he's still not even in the rankings. Is Morales on the sauce, or is that just South American genes? I don't know if he's on the sauce, to be honest. He could just be like a really good athlete, have really good genetics. He doesn't scream sauce, but you never know because a lot of people are probably on the sauce in the UFC. I kind of feel bad for Karen Bryant. Am I the only one that kind of feels bad for Karen Bryant these days? Because her role in the UFC has been like, it's been gradually, let's push her out of the big spots. Let's push her out of the big roles. She's gone from pay-per-view interviews after the fights to post-fight night, week fight night with Anthony Smith. I mean, I know she's old, and that's a big part of it. Karen Bryant used to be the freaking, mainstay on the UFC on Fox, and now she's like getting hit on the post-fight night show that no one watches. But yeah. Remember when Rampage rizzed her up? I do. I do. That's a fucking famous interview, bro. Bro, I don't know why you hate Smith so much. I don't hate Smith at all. I do not hate Smith. I dislike Izzy more than Smith. I dislike Gary more than Smith. I actually want Anthony Smith to win his fights. It's more of a meme, and I call him out for being delusional. Like, Anthony Smith says some of the most delusional things I've ever heard in my life, and it's funny to call them out. But I don't actually dislike him that much. Actually dislike him that much. Okay? I'd much rather see Gary lose. Like, when Anthony Smith fights, I actually root for him to win. And I'm being real about that. I actually do root for him to win. Unlike someone like Adesanya or Gary or even O'Malley. Like, I don't want O'Malley to win his next fight. If Anthony Smith could work his way up to a belt, I'd actually freaking have a 24-hour Smith stream. Smith is a staple, bro. Yeah. He's just delusional as hell, and it's funny to call him out about it. I put the headphones on, and Smith is saying the exact same thing about Amanda Ribas's fight as he was for Morales and Jake Matthews. The last thing I heard Smith say about Matthews and Morales is he was just drawing him in. As soon as I put the headphones, she was just drawing her in. Typical Smith. His little buzzwords. I am just messing around right now, but thank you for the $2, the fam god. Jelton is clean. Get over it. Jelton's good. He's good. But he's not beating Tom Aspinall if he couldn't beat Derek Lewis the way that we thought he was going to get it done. Derek Lewis was the litmus. If he had subbed Derek Lewis, dude, Derek Lewis was supposed to be the exact same matchup on paper as Jairzinho Rozenstruik. So he did not pass that test the right way. When are we getting the Crafty Vet video? This week. This week, it is coming out 100%. The Crafty Vets video is coming out this week. I've already started working on it. Oh, he's talking about sauce. I don't know about that. Jilton Almeida. If there's anyone that I'm thinking is not natty, it's Jilton. Smith thinks of himself as an OG. I mean, honestly, bro, he can't be an OG because he hasn't had OG performances. Like, right? Nate Diaz had himself a freaking OG making performance against Connor. Dustin Poirier's had a bunch of OG making performances against Gagey and like Alvarez. Anthony Smith's OG performance was against Hector Lombard, a fight that no one really got hyped for to begin with. So that's why he's not technically an OG. It's like Smith, if he would have went to war with Gustafsson and had a war and won, he would be more of an OG, but that was a boring fight and he got the submission. Good win for Anthony Smith, though. But you kind of need those performances. That you were talking about my kids was an OG moment. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the attack in my family, that was an OG moment for Smith, but not in the way that really makes him a UFC legend in like he's not like an adored UFC legend like Diaz, Poirier, Gagey. Am I crazy to think Anthony Smith would take down Cyril Gane and submit him within the first 3 minutes? Yes, dude. Anthony Smith with his plenty takedowns, who has honestly, Anthony Smith's takedowns are not good at all. He does not really take people down like that. Smith does well when he's like caught up in a scramble and happens to work his way on top of his opponent just by the dirtiness of the fight. But he's not taking Gane down. I think Gane would literally destroy Anthony Smith just like he did Spivak. Gane would do him like he did Spivak, and I'm confident in that. Lucas, when are we getting? Yeah, the Crafty Vets video is coming this week. Smith thinks he's one of the boys. Exactly. Conqueror Cam is probably just a John Jones hater. Smith does it in the 3-rounder. What, he beats Jones? Smith is an OG, to be honest. He knows he's delayed. Am I crazy to think Anthony Smith would take? I don't know, man. I don't think he beats Gane in the 3-rounder. I'm sorry. I know Smith is a light heavyweight and Gane's heavyweight, but Smith doesn't have the takedowns, man. And he's just not, he's not even as good as Gane on the feet. Gane's like a really good heavyweight striker. Prime Smith could beat Gane. I disagree. I don't think Prime Smith would beat Gane. Brito beat Lopez. I'd love to see Brito versus Lopez. That'd be a great fight. Also, Aljo had an F-tier diet. Gary at the worst is C-tier. Gary doesn't get as fat as Aljo offseason. Fair enough, but that's also maybe just his genetics and metabolism as well. But you never know. You never know. Also, maybe he's not cutting as much weight. But yeah, I just think Gary's a little bit of a soy boy. Like, I ran into Ian Gary last week, and I shoved him into a locker. Now I'm playing. Hardest fight for Duplessis in 185 is Vettori because he's super durable. Yeah. Hard to finish. Yeah, but the thing is, Vettori being hard to finish and durable doesn't mean he's going to win because he's still out there trying to be technical, and Vettori has a hard time hitting his opponents, and he gets beat up. Vettori still gets beat up. Vettori would be a tough fight for Duplessis if he actually like stormed forward, like the local watchman from the Night's Watch. Okay, if Vettori fucking stormed forward like a medieval watchman, okay, whatever the hell you want to call him, like an absolute freaking gladiator on the front line, then for sure Vettori would give him a tough fight. But he's not giving Duplessis a tough fight by trying to be all technical. Duplessis would gas out. Yeah, but even a gassed out Duplessis could probably outstrike Vettori, who'd be out there trying to kickbox and have a fancy schmancy battle. Thank you for the $5. Do you think Shavkat Rakhmonov is a champ within the next 3 fights? Also, name the most underrated champ in your opinion, current or past. Do I think Shavkat Rakhmonov is going to be a champ within the next 3 fights? Yes, I do. But I could see Edwards beating him. But if I have to say yes or no, I'll say yes. And then name the most underrated champ in your opinion, current or past. Okay, current or past. I mean, bro, I still think people underrate Habib, but I don't know, man. I guess Weidman's also pretty underrated. Let me see. I think Strickland's underrated. As a champ. Oh, there's Brendan Allen. Fucking Brendan Allen thinking he's the coolest thing since sliced bread. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I think Yuri was an underrated champ. That guy defended that belt like 10 times, right? I mean, Alex Pereira is like past Habib. So obviously Yuri Prohaska must have an insane legacy for Pereira to be over Habib. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I think Strickland's super underrated still. I think Strickland, even though he beat Izzy, I still think he's underrated. Does Volk beat Vittori? Nah, but Vittori's too big for Volk, honestly. He probably just gets a hold of Volk and fucking smudges him against the fence. Thank you for the $5, the fam god. John did what he did to Gon, and now everyone thinks Gon is the worst fighter of all time. I mean, I don't think he's the worst fighter of all time. GSP went life and death with a one-eyed journeyman. That is kind of true, bro. That is true. Like, yeah, GSP is not on Jones's level. Like, I totally agree with you. Yeah, GSP's performance against Bisping was not that impressive, to be honest. He did kind of go life and death with them. Thank you for the $5, fam god. Let's see what Brendan Allen is saying. Brendan Allen's got a massive head. Ask him about Duplessis. I want him to ask him about Duplessis. I wonder what Smith is going to ask him. Anthony Smith's not asking him questions. He looks like a 2K My Career character. He does. He does. Yeah, he does. That head does not look natural, bro. What's your thoughts on Keon Kimura's take on MMA YouTube? I don't know. I'm not really like a big Keon watcher, to be honest. Thank you for the $2, the fam god. Not you, but haters, period. Smith beats Gon. Jesus. Yeah, Smith does not beat Gon. Smith would get freaking annihilated and toasted. Smith would get absolutely toasted like an absolute blunt. Okay, he'd get toasted like a piece of sourdough that I had this morning. Gon would do bad things to Smith. But guys, I think I'm going to get going. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. I'm going to get going, guys. Until next time.